expect the number one nigga on earth to do for a nigga who's got 1,000 followers?
A lot.
Right.
No, come on, bro. No American's doing that.
He just.
I just want to make sure my levels are not too much. Right?
And two, America's different too because of the infrastructure.
I just want to
so you have to
listen
remember.
once and then I'll know.
There's more infrastructure.
There's American infrastructure where, you know what I'm saying, a person with like 1,000 followers,
Test.
they're able to travel, they're able to do certain things around America. There's how many states, this and that and the third.
Yeah.
Drake knows, I would assume that he knows that there's a lot like that Canada needs. So with him trying to, like, he has to help. Why go give,
agree.
again, to my point,
I agree with you.
why go give a song to fucking Snow Day? Who the fuck is Snow Day?
What that?
No, not him. No. That's. I don't mind him.
Delilah, that one.
The Wagwan Delilah.
I thought
That's
that
an
was an
idiot
AI song. It
thing.
was a real song.
That man could have given us.
No, that was a real
That man could have given a song to
song.
Pressa. He could have gave a song to fucking Doovie.
Exactly.
Gave a song to Roni. Could have
Okay.
gave a song to Casper.
Wait.
K
Slow
Money
down.
that just came
I'm
home.
gonna tell you the story on each of those niggas you just named. He wanted to give the feature to Doovie already. He said, "Yo, Doovie, I will do a song with you and Press on the same song."
No,
Why does he have to do that?
At no price.
Why does he have to do that?
And was for free. I
He
saw
said they was gonna do it for free.
But they said
Doovie hit him back
with a
being like,
price.
"Fuck all that."
No,
Doovie hit him back with a price because
I
why
remember
would you
that.
even do that? Why
Exactly.
not just give me a song?
I know.
You know
Off the strength of being from the
what
city.
we're going through down here.
Yeah.
It's not easy for none of these artists.
Big facts.
If it's so easy for you to go comment and say, "Hey, well, if you go do this and that and the third, I got you guys." Why even do that? Just send me an open and I jump on your open, or yo, ask for my, like, why does he have to do
I'll say this,
that?
if it was an American and they heard this is my way of getting my Drake song, 2 seconds later they'd be like, "We're good for a day. We'll fake we're good for a day. Let's just get this money right
Yeah,
now."
because
Niggas
Americans,
like that.
yeah, because Toronto, unfortunately,
Right.
the code is a little bit like, the morals
It
and
means
values,
more.
it means more a little bit down
Then
here.
the
And
money.
that affects, and,
that's,
I'm not even gonna
that's
lie.
not even a bad thing.
No, it is a bad
No,
thing.
it is a bad thing.
When it
In
comes
terms
to
of what?
music and the entertainment, yes, it is a bad thing for the city in general. But for moral and code, and as a man, I would never knock a man for that. You
No, I
have
wouldn't
codes
either.
and morals, but at the end of the day, that hurts the industry because, yes, now let's say if Doovie does say, "Yo, fuck it," you know what I'm saying? We do the song. Maybe Pressa and Doovie and Drake have the biggest fucking Toronto song we've
It
ever
would be.
heard.
Very
No, it would
possible.
be.
No, it wouldn't be.
100%.
I still think
It's very possible.
Live Up to
Canada
My Name
Goose.
would be-
No.
Canada Goose?
Canada Goose
will
is still the
always be a
biggest.
Canadian
I'm
classic
sorry,
for
fam.
sure.
Not
The biggest
That along
songs
with
live up to
Peng's,
my name.
no, Peng's.
No,
Peng's.
Peng's.
That Peng's
Live
record
Up to My Name is my
hard,
tune
though.
with
See,
Blanca.
Okay, so when I spin that one, I see what it does to a room too.
You're a DJ too?
Yeah,
What don't
he
you do,
is.
my brother?
That's why I said he's my business partner. You gotta
You
have
gotta-
those
yeah,
ones in your
you-
pocket.
Wow, we
Gotta
need
be good
more
at
of you
everything.
guys, like,
2024, man. We working out here.
No, that's
But again, I
that's
think that's the
dope.
biggest problem. Well, going back to my original point, the biggest
Yes.
problem is the infrastructure and like when the people, not even just Drake. How many songs does Baka have with Toronto artists?
He has Preem, right? He has one with Preem.
Like, lend your voice to the locals,
Okay,
though, a lot
exclude
more.
Baka. What about Baka? What about 88 Glam? The Vision. There's some of the guys that make it, and again, that's R&B, so I don't really know the R&B side of it. But the hip hop side, I can even go to, this is how I feel personally, like the Shaw Clears, the Socrates, and
older heads.
yes, they did help a 1-2, and the NO 1-2 did fuck up, but I still think that doesn't stop you from saying, yo, this is my city. We know the struggle. I still have to do something. And to my opinion, there's a clash on both sides.
Correct.
Nah.
The street niggas don't really want to work with the older
OGs.
heads or the guys that are making it because they're corny and whatever. And those guys don't want to work with you, these street niggas, because it's like,
the politics, they don't want to be
yeah, I don't want to
associated
get
with.
myself into
Liabilities.
politics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What if you get arrested
Yeah.
and we lose a bag? And that's the biggest problem with the city right now. There needs to be some sort of connection where it's just like, yo, I don't give a fuck who's who. We need to help the city, bro. Because these Americans are making our city look like shit. Weeknd, you're a piece of shit, by the way. Yeah, I'm not on live anymore. I'm on camera doing this. You're a piece of dog shit. Don't come back to Toronto for like a year, fam.
No. I broke it down. Listen to me. This is the reason why the Weeknd was even at that show. Now let's break this down, right? At that show, Mustard did the Nipsey Hussle thing, right? His tribute.
Yeah.
So remember, Belly and Nipsey were locked in for a long time now.
True.
Why do you think Belly and OXO would disassociate from Nipsey's camp and kind of break away from that? Why do you think?
Did you see Belly there?
It doesn't matter if
No,
Belly was there or
no,
not.
no, no, no,
Because
no,
Dom
no,
Kennedy
Belly
was there.
there?
Dom
Y'all
Kennedy
heard
was
that.
there.
My
So
nigga,
my
I don't
nigga,
give a
all
fuck
that shit,
about all that
fam, I
shit.
think
Though.
it's
Shout
deeper
out to
than
Belly.
rap, bro. So that's what I'm
know.
saying. We're not
And that's
gonna-
why Weeknd is not allowed over here no
Nah,
more.
nah. I understand.
We don't want to hear that
enforcing
shit.
that
You are
no-fly
you
zone
are
now?
banned from Scarborough, nigga. I'm not
are we
even a
enforcing
Scar.
that?
I'm not even an East Side nigga, and I'm saying that. I'm a
Nah.
West Side nigga, and I'm telling you, you're banned.
Nah,
Oh
nah.
my
I don't ban him
gosh.
still because I
Banned.
understand there's a business situation at hand, and I think the business
Oh, yeah.
situation is there and the love. Like EXO is not gonna disrespect anybody on that side, fam. Especially in LA.
So you're gonna disrespect us?
Maybe the wrong thing to do was to
Be
talk shit
there.
and whatever the case may be. No,
No,
being there is one
do
thing.
not be
Everybody
there.
was there. Man's that hailed up Drake from how
You
long
know,
he was there.
doesn't matter.
See, and this
Fam.
is why we keep looking like idiots.
yes,
on the,
fam.
Like, on the
It's
big
a bad
screen.
look,
We
bro.
look terrible. Did you see that? That was an LA event.
Yes.
That was an LA run, produced, managed event. Why the fuck?
Which
would
other
anybody
Canadian?
go?
Hold on. Which
Why
other
the fuck
Canadian?
would a motherfucker
Which
from
other
Toronto be
Canadian
over
big
there?
artist did you see there?
Why would we be
Just
over there?
name me one other
I
big
didn't see
I get
anybody
it was
else.
history
I
in
didn't
the
even see
making, but there was-
Bieber's ass over
This is
there.
why, Toronto's its own worst enemy. It is.
It is.
We have no loyalty to each other. Like, I get the streets is the streets and shit be going on, but you won't really catch a motherfucker from, like, Atlanta trying to do some shit in, like, New York. He know Atlanta's his turf. You know, he gonna respect his territory. If you have your connections and shit like that in New York, of course, like, they gonna do it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people respect their territories. They do. You know what I'm saying? And you can't come, like, even, free Young Thug. With everything that was going on with Young Thug, you think a motherfucker could come to Atlanta and talk some shit about Young Thug?
I don't know.
Could never happen. That's the kind of loyalty we need to have behind our musicians. No matter where they fall, on the pinnacle. Like, it shouldn't matter. Just because it's Drake, we not supporting him because he's a multi-millionaire and he's a big artist. That's our city. That's our guy.
He still got washed though. And we gotta be honest too.
Yeah, he definitely lost.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta be honest.
He did.
He
It
took
was-
the L, but it's to me, it's not gonna change the fact that he's not gonna be the biggest artist in the world, depending
Or
on how
still
the
is.
industry,
Or still
depending
is.
how the industry deals with him too.
Right.
Now that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, we do definitely have to support the city more. Like everybody's got to support everybody, like regardless of the tiers, whatever. Like
Exactly.
if they're actually trying to be in music or entertainment in some way, we just have to push these people. But we also have to be honest with them, especially from this city, and let them know if your music sucks, it sucks.
Yep.
Like there's a problem with this city with not telling people because they're scared of whatever, or this city, they don't take criticism
Straight up.
well at all.
They
So
don't.
like,
They don't. Too many yes men here. That's a lot of the issues with a lot of the music that you guys see being posted on, like, and no disrespect to pages like Six Buzz and all those other Real Toronto News, and there's a lot of 6 pages, right? They post a lot of the same garbage. And no disrespect to them. These are a lot of people that got Man Dem friends that are co-signing them. Like, your friends are just telling you sound good, but you sound good on your block. Sweetie, you can't make it on the radio. You couldn't make it on, a sync opportunity in a movie. We can't see you on a television show. A black movie. It's not going to happen because you're only good and respected in your hood. So people do need to start getting real with these artists. That's why I love what we're doing with Toronto Divas. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but it's really being absolutely blunt and honest with the talent, especially because everyone's starting from an independent level. They deserve to hear the truth. Why the hell have your friend pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into what they're doing if you know goddamn well you ain't gonna play it nowhere else but your damn bathroom while you getting ready in the mirror trying to support your friend so you can get a little bit of views on his YouTube video? It needs to get past that. We need to be honest with our friends and family. If they're trash, they're trash. Just hang it up.
She oozes radio. Like, you can tell that experience is just like, holy shit.
all right, so let's get into it though. And it's the Man Dem show. It's your boy Gutsy.
It's your boy Vegas.
You know what I'm saying?
PTM.
Cool. No.
Wow,
So-
on point and everything.
Right?
That show too.
So who do we have here? Who do we have here with us today?
I go by the name of PTM, a.k.a. Paula Too Much. I am a radio personality and journalist from Toronto.
Nice. Like, okay, radio personality.
Really quick. Do you have any shout outs?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, shout out to my people at Toronto Divas. Shout out, the Urban Spotlight radio show, the Urban Spotlight podcast. Shout out my people in Chicago. Shout out my people on the west side of Toronto, a.k.a. Shout out my whole Prisma Productions family. Shout out to the Man Dem for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Sorry. No, you go.
No. That's all. I just want to give out a shout out.
No, I just like being around, like, I don't know, like good energy people that are like, you know, in a better position, because it makes me want to get into their position too. Like, you know, you got to show, like, when you see people that have done a lot, you have to achieve to be them. You know what I'm saying? And you just thank you for your time for even coming, bro.
Oh, it's much
I
appreciated.
I know you do hugs, but
I
handshake
know.
right now. I'm not
Much
getting it.
appreciated. Much appreciated. When we were
what's up.
talking earlier, just getting to know each other, we were talking a lot about the support and things around how we're all coming together as a city. This was so important for me to be here because I've just been doing so much work like over the past almost 10, 15 years. And, you know, we're always looking for that kudos sometimes, like just to know you're doing a good job. And this was kind of like a good confirmation for me, like your work hasn't gone unnoticed. The Man Dem do see you, and you're where God needs you to be. So this meant more for me than you guys will ever know. And this is a part of my story and my journey. So welcome, because I'm the main character.
Hold on. Talk your shit though. Tell us like some of the people you were even able to just
Oh my God.
being blessed in your presence and vice versa. Like,
Man, this journey, this started back in 2015. The very first interview I ever did, shout out to the Toronto University, which was formerly Ryerson University. That's where I had my first interview, and that was with, you know, the R&B crooner, Robin Banks. And this was before, you know, the whole incident with Robin, unfortunately, and just where his, you know, his whole career kind of shifted and changed. I got him at the cusp of his career, just literally take off, right? So that was a great thing to see because 2015 for me and 2016 was a great time for Toronto. I think that was when we were making some of the best music ever. It was like banger after banger with a lot of these musicians. So Robin, shout out to him. I love him forever. He knows he's my dog. And we grew up in the same block, so that was really meaningful for me coming from Finch, you know? So there was Robin Banks, and then I went on to get my first American interview, and that was with G Herbo. Shout out to my dogs, them in Chirac.
So hold on. Because I've been doing this interview thing for
Yeah.
a very, very long time.
Respect.
Haven't interviewed Robin Banks. I've interviewed everybody else around him.
Right.
Not Robin Banks.
I think you're a special person when you get Robin.
Yeah,
still. I
not
can't even
even-
lie to you.
and then just after that, you're talking about your next interview,
Correct.
American wise, is G Herbo.
That's right.
Who's your plug?
You know what? And that's what I got into this whole Toronto Divas movement to, sorry, y'all. That's what I got into the Toronto Divas movement to kind of help a lot of people with. I am the plug. It's about turning yourself into the plug and not being the gatekeeper. So I move as though I am a manager. Even though I never had one, I moved as though I had one.
Okay.
So when communicating with people, especially being an independent person or just working as a sole team member, you do want to be perceived as a professional. So anytime I was hollering at these guys, it wasn't so much as like having a casual conversation. They thought this was the opportunity of their life. Herbo looked at it as, and this was in 2016 when he was going from Lil Herb to G Herbo, he was like, damn, a Canadian journalist, a Canadian outlet has never reached out to me before. I can't get into Canada.
Yes.
This is a great opportunity for me to be heard by Canadian fans.
Proper.
So he got me out to Chicago. He's like, yo, come out to the rack. And I'm gonna rent a little studio for you at Oprah Winfrey Studios
Jeez.
in downtown Chirac, and that was on the lakeshore. And it was crazy because I had my people in Chicago that came along with me, but they thought I was gonna get robbed by Herbo.
Oh, so they thought it was a setup
They
thing.
thought it was a setup thing. They're like, oh, Herbo ain't coming out for you. Shawty, like, that's not gonna happen. Phone them grave. He ain't coming out for you, man. You gotta be careful. We coming with the sticks just in case you finna get robbed. You Canadian, you on our block, like you on our turf. How do you know you're even talking to Herbo? Facts. So I said, all right, I invited my peoples with me. They had, you know, the Motics, everything with them in the vehicle. We pulled up, they realized it was legit. Herbo's was there in the lobby with his management, and it was like they couldn't even get in. They checked us all, did the whole security check. Herbo did that for 3 days to make sure I wasn't setting him up. So for 3 days while I was in Chicago, because I took a Greyhound, $50 ticket, and found my way in Chicago for this interview. I get to my people's house. I get there Friday night. Herbo, you ready for this interview? Yeah, man. They just checking your background and making sure, you know, whoop-de-whoop.
Really?
What did we?
Went.
We were talking about that.
Oh,
We'll get into that later.
Let's
but yeah,
get
go
into
ahead.
it. Friday went.
Yeah.
Saturday,
Yeah.
call Herbo's managers. Are we ready for the interview today? Oh, no, we still checking out some logistics, making sure, you know, your outlet's credible. We'll get back to you. My ticket, I'm supposed to leave back to Toronto on Sunday. Sunday morning comes. I'm saying, God, come on now. And the manager says, yeah, we ready to go. Meet us downtown Lakeshore.
Jeez.
That's a story. That's a story.
Y'all, I was by myself.
So hold on,
I was by myself.
those days, because I know obviously you want the interview, but what else are you doing? Like, I'm pretty sure you're like, fuck, I'm in Chicago. Let me go turn up or
Absolutely.
something.
Like I
man.
told you, I got my peoples out in Chicago. Shout out my girl Candy Crush. Shout out my boy Cito. Shout out all my people in Chicago. There's so many people that have been there for me, like along my journey. Actually, my first show in Chicago was opening up for Waka Flocka.
Jeez.
When I was an artist manager. We had a show out there, and that's how I connected with my friends in Chicago. So, yeah, I had my peoples out there. We went and turned around the city. Like, I was in the low end with it. I was in Skokie with it. I'm everywhere in Chicago. Chicago's my second home.
Nice.
So obviously you seem like a fan to the hip hop scene.
Yes.
So when you're interviewing these people, did you get nervous interviewing your? Because I know I get nervous because I'm such a fan of the music.
Yes.
You didn't get nervous around him?
Y'all go watch my old interviews on Urban Spotlight on my YouTube channel. You could see the transition between me like growing as a journalist, like where I'm comfortable and like where it became like, oh no, this is what she does like in her sleep. So Herbo was super nerve-wracking. There's comments on the video like, she kept hitting him all the time. She wanted to be. I'm like, okay, don't hit him in the next, don't hit the guest in the next interview.
one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these are things you pick up as you go along in the game. So yeah, I was definitely nervous, but things just blew up from them, you know, like from there. After, you know, doing the Herbo interview, I also opened up for Nipsey Hussle. I was an artist at the time. I was rapping my ass off and trying to support the artist I was managing, who was my artist from Flint, Michigan. Shout out my girl Sweetwater. She lives in Detroit now. And her first show was Nipsey Hussle in Detroit. So she said, girl, I ain't got no hype, girl. I need you out there. I said, shit, I'm just a manager, though. I don't do the hype girl thing, but let's do it. We did that show. It was a complete mess.
Oh, fuck.
But we got backstage, and I'll never forget this 7-foot-tall giant walks in just before his performance. I'm like, damn, his nip. We're talking like 2012-ish.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So this
yeah,
is just
yeah.
a compilation of things I was going through before the Herbo thing. But so nervousness almost stopped. Like it stopped becoming a thing. You know, it became a normalcy for me because I realized God wrote these people in my plan. Why? I love telling Black stories. That day with Nipsey was surreal because we finished the performance and we know it was trash. But Nipsey was like, he looked at me and he goes, yo, you got something in you. You got something. I'll never forget it. I don't want to start crying. And he rolled up a blunt and passed it to all of us. I smoked a blunt with Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jeez.
Okay.
Another. Yeah, I'm
The
saying.
marathon continues.
I like
You know
it.
what I'm talking about? So it was lit. So like I said, you know, over time, the nervousness, I just started becoming like, I started figuring out this is my true self. This is me. Like, who else than me? Nobody else in my city is doing it. I didn't see any other Black journalists that looked like me. I knew the Black stories of Canadian musicians needed to be told, and there needed to be a segue to combining the two, like America and Canada, and just making us look in unison as one. So my friends in the States always call me the Canadian plug.
Proper.
And that's what my advice would be to folks like yourself is, you know, there are people on the opposite side that need our help.
Oh yeah.
You know, even though they're a brand new musician, they possibly cannot get into Canada. So the only way they'll get a voice is through us.
It doesn't even have to be music. There could
Yeah.
be so many other things,
So
and it could
many.
lead back to music, right? So there's.
Absolutely, absolutely. So after that, you know, I went on to
Hold on. Sorry to cut
Okay,
you
go
because
ahead, yeah.
because you're saying so much, but I feel like there's so much that we're missing even before.
Go
because
ahead.
where did even all this come from? Because you speak.
True.
We were speaking about it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Black women.
In the game, yeah.
Yeah, in broadcasting,
True.
media.
Yeah.
True.
So who were you looking up to in general?
shout out to my pops, man. I'm African. I'm half Nigerian, half Ghanaian.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
never met one of those. I never met a Ghanaian and Nigerian. That is completely crazy.
Yeah, the jollof is crazy on both sides, so we ain't gonna get into that debate. But shout out to my pops. You know, he's a DJ, and I just grew up every Sunday morning listening to my dad belting records like Bob Marley, and you know, just it was always some sort of music emanating like throughout the house. And I loved hearing my dad on the microphone, and he was like a local MC as well in Canada, and he did his thing. So I grew up in that, and I've always loved expressing myself through my voice. So it just came naturally. And then what I realized being an artist manager, Canadian radio sucks. It's hard to get music on the radio. I hated trying to bang down the Flow 93.5 walls and the 92.5 walls, and I hated it. And I said to myself, if I can't beat them, join them.
Make your own.
So I created my own radio show in 2015, and that was it. Take off. That was it.
Did you go to school for any of these things?
So after realizing that I was pretty damn good at what I do, I said, you know what? I ought to make it look good on paper, just so I can get into more corporate dealings. So I went back to school. I already have a degree from Ryerson in business, but I decided during COVID, even though I had been doing this since 2015, I went to school in COVID for journalism. Shout out to Humber College. I was a graduate of their radio broadcasting and journalism program.
Okay, proper.
That's
Congratulations. Another else. Your
Was
hand
it,
claps.
was it worth it? Was it worth it? Like going
No.
back to for real.
Biggest scam ever is education, but we'll talk about that on another show.
Yes.
Biggest scam ever is education. You could definitely, I was doing it already. The only thing I learned is how to beef up social media. You know, shout out to the professor, shout out to Pina Colada. There's so many great people there, great professors, but, you know, nah. It was a huge scam. Huge debt, wasn't worth it for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot though.
Yeah, the connections were good, but definitely not worth it for me. I was already making moves before then. Like, they were using my examples from my YouTube channel in class. Like, guys, she's already 10 steps ahead of this assignment. This is what we want your assignments to look like. Let's all refer to Paula's YouTube channel. Lights, please. Lights. Lights. It was great.
That's interesting.
I
Okay, so
really-
after G Herbo,
Yeah.
who do we have next? Like, who's on
So
your journey?
after I did G Herbo, I started concentrating more on my Canadians. That's when I got into my interview with Casper TNG, and that was dope. Casper was on a hell of a run at that time because he had just dropped Brown Honeys, Brown Honeys, Brown Honeys, I need brown honey. And he had the hood on smash, you know what I'm saying? And then there was the dope boy, or rapper, she's a dope, like, so I had to have him. And when I got into the studio with him, I realized, okay, there's more things happening in Toronto. So then I reached out to Hoodlum. And I know you guys had him on the show.
Yes, we did.
That's our boozy.
That's my boozy. Yeah. He's definitely our Toronto boozy. I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. Very charismatic young man and has a lot to offer musically to the city. I think these are all men that we shouldn't even be talking about on a local level. Toronto just deals with them rough. You know what I'm saying?
What you say?
Casper shouldn't be here. Neither should Hoodlum. Neither should a lot of the guys. But Toronto deals with them rough. They're involved in things that we don't see, supposedly. And a lot of that, like I said, Toronto is its own worst enemy. People can't see past that in order for us to progress. So it hinders us.
But is it also the infrastructure? Because I always
Yes.
say
Oh, it's a huge
it
component.
should be like, just like you said, these guys should have opportunities to
Correct.
get signed, get into the
Yes.
game, you know what I'm saying, go on tour.
Yeah.
There's nobody telling them that. There's nobody explaining that to them. Like, I
Correct.
feel like it's the infrastructure down here. There's nothing for these guys to really do other than try to get over to the States. And even if they get over there, they still don't know what the fuck to do. They're still
Exactly.
just like, you know, like,
It's so true. A Nielsen SoundScan report was done in 2017, and they found that hip-hop music was the #1 consumed genre in Canada. So it's not like they don't know what Canadians like. They just won't get behind it commercially because it's so much liability attached to the music that we make. We are talking about dead man smoking on blunts and things like that. They know what we're talking about, y'all. And because of that, it's a hindrance. So until we start to raise the bar around our expectations of what we consider as being a hit, or this is blessed, or I'm about to turn up to this, it's just gonna keep being the same trash, you know? And this is just an indication of who we also are as Torontonians.
okay, we know that because we know when the fuckery gets out there and people go on live.
They
and, you
like
know,
it.
Yeah.
If it's
They like
fuckery,
it.
they love it. But if
like
it's, you know, if it's somebody on live and they're respectful in each other and it's the ops being like, yeah, you know, we should link up, or they're just gonna come off and be like, nah, I don't rock
right.
with this shit.
That's true.
It's a barbarian sport, unfortunately. Like, they love to see drama.
They
know what I'm
do.
saying? You're detained. That's what
Exactly.
they like. You know what I'm saying?
Sparta.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot of that going on. So when I realized that the polys started being a thing, because I have brothers that are rappers too, and it got to a point where they were like, you know, I couldn't even showcase them. I couldn't even really be talking about you know, my affiliations. I'm like, damn, I need to be out this motherfucker.
Smugglers.
No, I ain't gonna mention who my brothers are. But
Well,
shout out
we
to
can
them,
bleep out their name.
Eh?
We can bleep out their name.
You can bleep them out.
Yeah, for sure,
why
for
would we?
sure.
If you want to
Okay.
bleep out, and I'm editing, so you know,
Yeah.
it will get
It's on
bleeped
him.
out.
It's on him. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, shit. One of my brothers, free him. That's all I'm gonna say. Free my brother. I ain't even gonna say no names because he'd be like, sis, you know you shouldn't be doing all that. But you know, he that's my chargey. But the thing about it is, there's just so much politics, and a lot of people don't know these are my brothers. So it's like, I'm like, okay, let me take a break on what's going on in Toronto and move my efforts elsewhere because I realized I grew so much accreditation from the work that I've done, and they've seen my work online and what, you know, the media outlets that I support. I started getting bookings at festivals and shows and providing media coverage there and getting interviews that way.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, after the Hoodlum interview, there was a bit of like a stalemate in Toronto for me because I stopped being like energized. I wasn't feeling like I wasn't getting any inspiration. So I said, all right. COVID came then, took a pause, came back, hit him with the Junos. Got to the Junos now. Who was my first interview? Mustafa the Poet.
Okay, hold on.
Nice.
That's
Because-
when I say let's turn it up.
So
a
now,
notch.
how do you get these? Because we're the Man Dem, you know what I'm saying? It's just me and this guy. We try to get to these guys,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's, you know, because it's the Man Dem, we're do rags and we talk really aggressively. I don't know. We cuss, you know what I'm
to the Man
saying?
Dem.
What does other platforms, not just us, but what do other platforms have to do to get to these events? Because I feel like,
Absolutely.
again, they need us. Like, you know what I'm saying? They need
your
guys like
representation, I
us
told
to
you guys.
exactly for representation, just to us to even put them on 1-2 artists. You know what I'm saying? We might put them onto 100 OTD. You know, RP Dope Boy DQ.
That's
like
right.
there's so many different artists out here that we could just tap them into that they might not know. Like, so how do we?
Okay, so, you know, one of the things we talked about earlier is, for me, I've placed a heavy importance on moving like I have a manager, even though I don't. So there's always going to be, it's not so much of gatekeepers, but they like to see a level of professionalism with conduct, right? So you do what you do, which is unique to you, but when you're presenting yourself to an outlet or an artist, the jargon that you use, how you approach yourself, how you approach the situation and speak to them, it has to be of the utmost professionalism. That's the only way they'll take you seriously.
Okay.
That's the only way I've never had to fuck for an interview or suck. that
Eee,
feels
talk the
good.
things.
That deserves a clap. That deserves a clap. I like that.
Crazy because I was gonna get into that. So fuck, how is that hard? Because you know you're a very, you know, beautiful girl. You know what I'm saying?
That so much.
A lot of guys obviously, you know, hit on you. They do all this crazy stuff. How do you
Almost
like
all the artists
even?
we've interviewed. Yeah.
Wow.
But
Wow. Say that
almost
then.
all of them, but at the end of the day, they respect my craft, and I'm very, you know, I stand on business, and I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. I also want to be very respected for my craft. I love being a journalist. I want that artist to be able to look back on the interview and say, I learned something from sitting down with Paula. When you listen to my Herbo interview, he said, I cannot wait to watch this in 5 years and hold myself accountable to everything I said in this interview. And it's so amazing to see because he is the businessman that he said he would be.
That's proper.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing for me. It's just, I think as like, even with you guys, there's so much more that we could be doing. When I went to Rolling Loud, there was like no media outlets out there. None. I expected to see y'all there. Shout out to We Love Hip Hop.
Well, we weren't a thing that time.
No, I know. But like I'm saying, like I deserve, we should
No,
be
we
seeing-
weren't a thing.
I know that.
Oh,
I know that you weren't a thing. But we're supposed to be seeing more things.
Mm.
Like if you were to have an event like Rolling Loud in Miami, there's 100 of you guys there as
Yeah.
media outlets. Why don't we have that in Toronto?
What was the? How did you? Okay, so,
So,
I guess
let's
going
talk
back to
about
the
the
question.
process.
Yeah, how did you get
Sure.
into like?
And I'm about to spill some tea. I am dropping some educational pieces around this, so anybody that wants to work with me directly can do that. Just hit me up in the DMs at Paula Too Much. But I'll drop a little bit of sauce because I'm not a gatekeeper. It's very simple. For instance, the Junos, they always have a media call out just before the event happens. So
Right.
you get on their website and they have a tab that says Media Accreditation.
Yes.
Under the Media Accreditation tab, you click it and it'll say, hey, are you interested in covering as a media personnel for our event? These are the requirements. Send it to us by this deadline and we'll get back to you and let you know if you're approved as an outlet. That's how I get in all these shows and events for free. I take it a step further though. So when I propose that I'm going to cover the event, I tell them the outlet I represent, which initially was Fever TV, and they're on Bell and Rogers TV. And I showed them that Bell and Rogers has eyes of over 1 million to 2 million viewers maybe in a given month.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You create the value for Junos by saying that in the request. So the Junos is saying, oh, she represents Bell, and she's from Fever TV, the only black, shout out to Fever TV, the only black Canadian television station in Canada. Of course we want them there. We need representation. So it's how you propose this information to them on that form that you fill out, and then they get back to you. I'm just one gal that gets approved. I'm just a one-woman team. So when that happens, I'm floored, but I know it's a lot about how I presented it.
Yes, yes.
Right? So I can always, like I said, if y'all want to work with me. But yeah, it's something I'm going to get a lot more into because I'm noticing there, like even when I covered Rolling Loud, I was the only black female journalist backstage.
That's crazy.
Just proper.
But you see, that's how I got Caravana though this year. The same
Good for
process.
You.
So hold on.
There you go.
That's the same process.
Wheel up.
No.
Bring
You
it
said,
down.
you said something in that.
He's so flabbergasted. Like,
Fever now.
Yes. Let's talk about
yes,
it.
yes, Fever.
I know I'm
Fever.
doing a lot,
Fever.
guys. I work a lot. A lot.
So
So after the radio spiel, like I told you guys, I took a bit of a break after COVID. I wasn't feeling motivated with all the polys and stuff that was going on in Toronto. I started doing interviews elsewhere. And then I realized I need a bigger outlet to support me with these interviews. And that's the key. It's just aligning yourself and looking like a big outlet. That's how you get the passes. If you could show the followers, you could show the engagement, you could show the value to the outlet. It's going to be a guaranteed yes. So that's essentially what happened. I reached out to Fever TV. They were looking for journalists. I said, this is something I could help you guys with, and I also do event coverage. We linked up, and they were like, yeah, cover all our events for Fever. Just hit up a bunch of events, and we will back you up. Here's your Fever email, and go about and do what you do your magic. And so that's how I got Afro Nation in Detroit last summer. And the biggest interview I got there was Skilly Bang.
Jesus
Shout out to him.
Christ. I think she's beating what's her name? She's beating Thing for claps now. Baby Grime. She's beating Baby Grime
shout
for
out to
claps.
Baby Grime. That's my OG.
that's my gang.
my
That's gang.
dog. I
That's a
love
member
her.
right
She's
there.
one of the, like, when we talk about female MCs, she's one of the, like,
100%.
yeah, the starters. I love her.
Her and what's the other
Jelly
one?
Two Flies, my dog. Shout out to her.
We had her too.
That was one
Yeah.
of my first
Gang.
interviews at Canadian Music Week in 2016. Shout out to you, Jelly. And I'll be seeing you at Toronto Divas, right? Yeah, she's going to be one of our performers there, so that's going to be great.
You never advertised that day, though.
Not yet. That's kind of my secret cat in the
Cat in the bag?
Yeah, it's coming soon to a theater near you.
I'm just thinking about all these things I'm gonna start applying to now.
I tried
Yeah.
Oshiega actually,
Yeah.
but it was too
Because
late. We
not-
were too late.
So
No, but Fever, sorry to cut you. I
No,
just
go
feel like
ahead, babe.
Fever need just our mindset and our
Correct.
brains to like process, like produce everything. It's just like we can the
Make it on such a
shows, like
grander
yeah,
level.
like
And they need that.
They do?
exactly.
So they're still
They do.
around?
They're still
Yeah,
around.
they're still around.
They're
Okay.
still around.
Okay.
Shout out to Robert. He is the owner of the station. His daughter actually works at the new G98.7. She's one of the new announcers on the show, on the station. So like the city is very intertwined and connected. It's like I said, just making the right connections. So yeah, I've been doing some great work with FIVA. I also ended up going out to One Africa Fest in New York City. Did some coverage for them too. Ended up interviewing Cranium there, which was awesome. Wow. That was a big one. And it's just great connections been happening with me since I've been working with FIVA. So I'm very encouraged about that.
Do you feel?
Oh, sorry.
No,
Well,
no,
I was saying, and you're still there.
I am part-time-ish. Like
Okay.
I'm very much a freelancer and a butterfly, but a lot of my attention right now is with Toronto Divas. Like
Okay.
that's my baby.
Okay.
And she's just taking flight. So, I go where the love is.
Go ahead.
I was gonna let me ask her this question because I might
Please.
forget it.
Please.
Do you feel like Afro beats is going to be bigger in Toronto than like actual regular hip hop or
It
hip-hop?
has the ability to do that. There's a
definitely
lot
does.
of fresh talent coming out of the Afrobeat scene. They're sleeping on them. Shout out my boy Skrilla God. You know I was gonna do that, Skrilla. Shout
That's
out
my
to
dog
Skrilla.
too. He used to be a sick. Yo, he's a sick rapper.
He's nasty with the rap.
Fam,
He's crazy.
I remember
with it.
with him when ROS days, like, oh man, like
He was
yeah,
nasty
shout out
with it.
Skrilla. That's family
Yeah.
still. Shout you out, boy.
So when we say Afro beats, he's one of those guys that if you don't know, you better know. So there's a lot of new faces coming out. I seen this Bonsu,
Bugatti Bonsu,
Bugatti
another
Bonsu.
member.
Shout out to you. And then you've
Everything
got
Ocean.
there you go.
Nina Richie.
Nina Richie, such great names. And we've got a lot of things that we're going to have happening in the works to support the Afrobeats community, but they're definitely a force to reckon with. I would be very concerned if you make music and it doesn't have some sort of Afrobeats element in it. You should definitely be tapping into that genre in some way, shape, or form. Definitely.
That's dope.
See, like right there, this is why like I need to have like some $1 million because I tell a kid, yo, like do some Toronto drill Afrobeat thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right away. You're out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go link up with Burner Boy or whoever's hot. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I go to the mainstream guy. But like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, whoever's hot, just go to them and just, you'd be out of here.
Exactly.
But Toronto Divas, your baby.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this baby here. Because, like, I'll be real with you, man. We in Toronto streets, we get scared when we hear about these little Toronto events.
Yeah.
I am saying, Freddie, I'm sorry, you scared the Man Dem away. You know what I'm saying? I'm be real. Freddie Fame has scared people
Shout out
away
to Freddie
from,
Fame, but
you
damn.
know, like he scared people away from events like this. So,
Right.
but why is your event different?
Yeah, our event is so much more different because we're definitely tapping into this element of Toronto that has gone just unnoticed. And if you know anything about music, particularly hip hop or just the urban music scene in general, everything rolls in cycles. So in the US right now, the women are dominating. And guess what's about to start happening in Toronto? So we're not the type to play catch up. We're very proactive, hence why the Toronto Divas brand was created. This is a platform that is 100% entirely devoted to the uplifting of the Canadian female music scene. So there's no one genre that's more important than the other. That's why I told you such amazing things are happening there. The sounds are just completely different. Shout out to my folks, my management, my team at Prisma Productions. These folks from Europe hit me up, saw my work. We're like, yeah, we're doing big things in Europe, but we're trying to do something in Toronto. We'd love to have you a part of it. I went to the first show, it was a huge success. The second was just incredible. And they were like, no, we need you on full time. So now with all the information, as you guys have heard, with my work in the entertainment industry over the last 15 years, I'm bringing my expertise to help craft and develop these young women to be absolute superstars. So there is no BS in my walk and my talk. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. These young women are professional women. They are hardworking women. They are driven and they are up next. So if Toronto wants to get a glimpse of something new, wants something refreshing, appetizing, and the way them girls look, boy, bye. Them girls look so damn good. And, you know, the talent matches the look. So it's just a great feel that, you know, the Man Dem can be in the room and feel safe because it's a gal dem vibe. You want to see pretty gal dem come true with beautiful voices attached to them. It's an excellent movement.
Which girl do I need to look at the most?
There's so many amazing women.
Give me a 1-2. Give me a 1-2, Nia.
Man, shout out to Michelle Osei. I'm being biased, but she's got this beautiful voice. She's a Ghanaian girl, and we're both Ghanaians, so I have to give her a huge shout out. We're working on some new music together, too. Shout out to my girl, Saray. She's doing heavy numbers for Toronto Divas on June 29th, and shout out to her team as well. There's just so many great ones. I love Cupid. Like, Cupid's crazy, man. This white girl got style. You guys talking about that drill? Show, man. We should get to popping on that. Shout out to you, baby girl. We doing some heavy things. You know what I'm saying? There's so many. You guys got to pop out on the 29th to really get a glimpse of what that's like.
No, we're gonna be there.
Who's 3 girls that you would want to have on the show right now? Like, if you could have 3 ladies from the city, who's your main 3? And 3 might not be enough. You can name a 1-2 more if you want to.
I think the lineup is just great the way it is. I just love to see a lot more. Like, you see how I found the Robins and the Caspers and the Hoodlum on their cusp before the Paulies, so the young women who I feel are, I really, because they're on their cusp and I really wish we could connect on a deeper level would be like my Double M. Double M is just murdering it right now. I'd love to have her on the bill
problem.
for a Toronto Divas. You know what I'm saying?
she could be Toronto sound. Like she could be, honestly, she should be, and that's my personal
you right
opinion.
now.
She's, to me, the best rapper, almost in the city. I think it's her and YG. Like that's there. You too. You know what I'm saying? but yeah, Double M is a problem. Like when it comes,
and a
yeah,
Toronto
but
sound,
not even just that.
She is a great representation.
She has a
of that,
character.
and a
She's showing
beautiful
you.
character.
She's showing you, and she's not afraid to
No,
just
she's
be
not.
herself.
And
I
I
love that in an artist.
I love her so much for that. I wish we could connect. Double M, please get in my DMs, girl. I'd love to connect with you on this. I'm even gonna DM you, girl, because I'm bright like
Let's
that.
call her right now.
Yeah, call her. Wait, use my phone.
She doesn't really rock with me like that. But
What do you
never
call
know.
her?
Oh my god!
Actually, she does it. She does it. No, thing.
Instagram?
Yeah, that's how I do. I just video call anybody. Like I'm just like, you know what?
Oh my
Fuck
gosh,
it.
y'all put me on the spot. Okay,
Yeah, let's
between
do
her
it.
and Taylor G,
That we can
Taylor
do.
G,
Definitely do.
if you-
That we can put
hey,
together,
Double M, I still
for
love you,
sure.
shawty, but listen, you see, old
That we
girl
can
Taylor
do.
G. I met her at Rolling Loud, and I just clicked with her, man. Most beautiful energy ever. If I could get her on a Toronto Divas show, that'd be elite. I'd be elite. I want these girls to see
you're gonna
what
have to call
stardom
her.
looks like. Those two women, for me, are just. They're very goatish right now. They're just it's giving goat. It's giving Toronto goat on the rise, you know? And I'm proud of these young women. They're doing great. Shout out to Havaya Mighty, Omega Mighty. I interviewed Havaya at the Junos. That was an incredible experience. And she's somebody that I just rock with her movement. I just
Yeah,
rock with her
us too.
movement.
They need to do a project together.
They do. Jelly Two Fly, she'll always be someone's name that I'll continuously mention when it comes to this stuff. I'm glad she's a part of the show on the 29th. But those two young ladies I just mentioned, man, see what
And
you
Double
did
M is
for me,
too.
man.
Double M is a little bit too Hollywood, but I'm gonna get you guys. I'm gonna get in touch.
Taylor G, we already connected, so you know.
Yeah,
So
she's super
I'm gonna
dope.
be a little bit mixy.
Okay.
Gots to be, because I heard there was a little bit of problem. Like, you see, that's
Okay.
the fucked up thing. I wish I known
always
that you were
always
the
so.
one that was doing the Toronto Divas thing. I
As
think
of
you
the
did
last
tell me.
show, right?
But
But I
I
wasn't
believe-
on it prior, unfortunately, and I did hear there was a bit of hiccups.
Yeah,
in the
there
beginning.
is
But talk
some
to me, I
sort
wanna
of.
hear this.
So I don't know exactly what it was, but
Yeah.
apparently there is issues with I don't know, having people on the show or something, and then the people
Okay.
didn't perform when they were supposed
Right.
to, or
Right.
some
So that's
issues that
exactly
was.
why they got me on board, right? Like there needs to be more. It needs to be more classy, and time management is essential in the industry. So
Mm-hmm.
with these young women, like when they hear Toronto Diva, a lot of them were already like, I'm a diva. Like they were not showing up on time. People just showing up and saying, this is when I want to perform versus when I had agreed. And this was before I got on board. I was merely an MC, paid to manage the hype and the crowd. And I did that, right? Even with all the flaws that may have been going on. But now, oh my God, we worked out all them kinks. That's why I told you I wouldn't be here representing a brand if I didn't think we was coming with some heavy hitters this time. Like these girls are absolutely disciplined and ready. They're working on their sets as we speak. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff that was going on, of course, with a new brand, that's inevitable, right? But that's why you enlist the best of the best. That would be me. You know, to make it happen. And so that's what we're going to have on the 29th at the TD Music Hall. This is unheard of. You guys give me one show where you've seen the Man Dem doing a show at TD Music Hall. I'll wait.
Yeah, never.
All
That's why I was surprised. I'm like, TD Music
I
Hall.
think
That
that-
sounds like a big ass place to go do your
I
thing.
think that deserves another clap.
All right, we'll give you a clap for that. My hands are getting tired. We're clapping you too much. We over clapping.
I'm just saying, I want y'all to be safe in the venue. I want everybody to have a good time. I want the women to feel like this is a show that could really propel them into something great. And so that's why we had to work out all the kinks. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, women will be women as far as being a diva, but it's all about, you know, one of the questions I asked them during the consultation calls, what does a Toronto diva mean to you? And the majority of the women say somebody who's confident, respects themselves, gets on the stage and lets it all hang over there, but also is able to support the other divas around them. I told every woman it's important for me to hear each and every one of you women say that because I don't want any woman thinking one diva is greater than the other. We're all here to support each other and really create some change in the city.
Good. So you do have a vetting process.
Absolutely.
You're not just bringing on anybody that says blah blah blah.
No.
Are the artists paying you to get on the show?
No, but however, if you were to go like, shout out my boy, Lil Bankhead, a DJ from Atlanta. He constantly does showcases, and this is something that's of normalcy in independent music scene, where you're giving opportunity to musicians not only to perform, but to make money. So in order to do that, you gotta raise momentum. You gotta build momentum around your brand. So one of the best ways to do that is to sell tickets. That's the only way all of us can eat. So for us, we always propose the ability to sell tickets to the event, and you get a share of those profits. It's not even like the organization just eats, which is ultimately normally what always happens. They just take advantage of independent artists, not us. I want every girl's gonna leave out of there with money in their pocket. Where do you hear that? Do you know how much people are on the bill? Where do you hear that? So not only are we trying to empower them, but we're also trying to put some funds in their pockets, which is important, but they have to understand the value in the exchange.
So it's not like 10 tickets and then the next is on you. It's not like that.
No.
Because I know some niggas would be like, oh, pay 5 tickets, or
Right.
and then the next 5 is on you. Like, nah, like you actually do a 50-50 split of percentages,
Correct.
contracts.
Absolutely.
Contracts?
100% contracts, 100% mentioned percentage splits, right? And the diva experience. You got to come and see what that looks like. But we're taking care of business here, and I'm proud of these young ladies. I'm very proud. So as far as the vetting process goes, we get a lot of DMs and requests to be a part of the show, but not everybody's ready. Not everybody's ready. But I've been here long enough to know how to negate that. So through the vetting process, one of those things is they have me on board alongside the additional team members from Europe, and we take a look at these young ladies' profiles, and then we have consultation calls with them. I don't want to give out all the sauce of divas,
Yeah, no.
But we do vet them. We do. It's important.
Yeah.
I don't want trash on the stage. It's a huge representation for me. I have a lot of journalists and industry buddies that are going to be at these events, and these are relationships that I've built over the last 10 to 15 years. So who am I to have a Joe Sharana from the hood of whatever, and she can't keep her shit together, and she's up there embarrassing me on that stage, and I've got Complex magazine in the audience, Noisy magazine in the audience. These women have to be properly vetted. It's important.
More questions containing this. Now, I think I forgot what I was going to ask you, but never mind, I forgot.
That's okay.
Oh, it just was in my head.
I'm the weed head.
I know,
No,
right?
it's because she's saying so much great important. Okay, I think I remember.
Go ahead,
so
Vegas.
the one question, like, so you're trying to be like another Honey Jam per se,
Wow.
because that's where it looks like it's heading to.
Right. Honey Jam was just an overall big performance with some of your best performers from Canada and maybe some from the U.S. as well. And they've done a phenomenal job. But we're building superstars, right? Like, we're not having people come on that stage that we can't see, having incredible careers outside of Toronto Divas. So we just want to be that stepping stool in that process, providing a guaranteed platform where the women could feel safe. They're not going to be, sequestered by men on the team to do this or to do that. They can have a guaranteed, genuine audience there for them. They can invite their friends and family to the show. It's a genuine approach to building artists, female musicians, which is, as you guys know, very difficult in a male-dominated industry.
That's facts.
Right? We want to feel safe. And that's why they have a woman like me on board, because that's my number one thing. Are these women going to be safe in everything that they're doing? Do they feel appreciated? And is this really going to help excel their career? If the answer is no, then we have no business here.
2 more things, one comment and one question. So basically, say I was Joe Sharon, whatever, and I got through the vetting process and stuff like that. I mean, how does it look like, or I should say, does Toronto Divas help after the fact? Or after the show, is there some sort of, hey,
Yes.
your song was dope, let's try and get it on the radio? Do you give mentorship after the fact, or is it just, come on the show, you did your thing, good luck to you? After the
Exactly.
fact?
No, because again, I feel like there's no real value in that. Because you remember we were talking about infrastructure?
Yes.
What value would we really be giving to these young women if all I'm doing is just making money off their backs? Like, we're just perpetuating the problem. I'm not here to do that. I haven't done that in the past 10 to 15 years. I've always been a game changer. I've always been doing things and being the oddball. And I've noticed that young women need support. They need support. So through these, meetings that I'm having with these young women that come on board, my other step with them is to ensure that they have prosperous careers. How do I support you in that, right? That's why I said, if there are any young women that are watching this right now and you do want to work as a musician, you're not too sure how to navigate that, hit me up at Paula Too Much, and we can make something happen. I'm really trying to turn this, just give Toronto a different face.
Not even just musicians, because it seems like we need better musicians and our media people and bloggers. So
Yes,
That's right.
maybe
That's right.
A lot more media
And
coverage
if you
stuff,
if you do want some assistance around that too. I just got a lot of sauce and information to give. So it's all about who reaches out and asks for it. But I'm here to build. I'm just here to build. These young women need a platform to do that. You guys just let me know which platform right now does that solely for women. I'm not saying they do a showcase every now and then. There's a all-female bill or whatever. How many outlets have a commitment entirely to the women demographic? I'll wait.
I'm not gonna shit on Ebony. Ebony, she's cool. She does because my goddaughter was on Honey Jam.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
nice.
And she still gets continued support per se. You know what I'm saying? They don't just have them on the show and bounce they'll give them opportunities to do this, do that, and third. So shout out Ebony. So sometimes she's just hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Sometimes those emails of back and forth
Oh,
with her,
yeah.
she's so stern. Like
Yes.
you could sense
Professional
the
woman.
Well,
you know what I'm
other than
saying?
that,
But
I don't
she's
know any-
dope.
Like there's not much because
Keep it
even
a
when I
buck.
was
Keep it
even
a
when I was
buck,
on my
that's it.
old platform, I was one of the only one that was really pushing the females. Like I was
Facts.
making it my job like every week to push like a female artist that I seen in the city.
Thank you for that.
So like yeah, it's rough out here.
It
Just
is.
like it is for the guys. So.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
is.
And my last thing, and then I'm done.
Absolutely.
I really do appreciate you doing I think I was going through your Toronto Divas Instagram and you
Excellent.
guys are doing rehearsals like you said. Like,
There we
I forgot to mention that is
go.
actually so important because you don't want your artists to go on stage and don't know what the fuck they're doing.
That's
they're
right.
moving all, you know what I'm saying? It's just the rehearsal aspect of doing a show like this makes it seem like it's just one step above certain things. And that is honestly awesome. Thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
Rehearsals are important, guys. Do your friggin' mic checks, please.
Ladies, did you hear what he said? So June 29th, I want those mic checks done, okay? But yeah, you're absolutely right. And see, when you guys were talking about the sort of kinks we had to work out, especially because this is our third show, that's one of the things we realized. They do need rehearsals. They do need to be acquainted with the stage, the mic, a sound check. Should we be changing the type of mic that they have? Lighting, you know what I'm saying? Placements around the stage. There's so much that has gone into this to make it as superb as possible because we're not just trying to take over the city. I want to take over the world. I want to create something that the rest of the world can say, we should be doing it like that. And Toronto needs to start being that. Because we already are in the music sense. The Drake, he's held it down for a while. And there's so many other Canadian musicians we can name. But what about the business? Are we the people want to shake hands with? Are we the podcast that they have to be on? Or do they have to be on the Man Dem podcast? Like how do we create that? How do we generate this momentum? By being change agents. We have to change it up. What we're doing is not working, guys. It's not like I said, we should not be seeing the Caspers. We shouldn't see these guys should be not here. They're supposed to be on radios all over.
Or they
all
should be on radio
over.
on here.
Or
they
even
should
on
be, like, you know what I'm
here.
saying? They should have certain opportunities. And that's my biggest problem with the city. It's like those guys don't have that. Man, we can
tough.
argue about
tiring.
we can argue
It's
about
so
it forever.
tough. But you know what? R.I.P. What was it? Rob Ford. He was trying to turn Toronto into a music city. Do you guys remember that?
Trying to make it a cool city. Just
Literally,
a cool place.
literally. But the term was music city. He was visiting places like L.A. and Texas just before he died to get the sauce of how do we generate these big festival feels around, like, I got to be at Texas this year because they have that festival that happens every year. I got to be at Rolling Loud Miami. I don't give a crap. I got to be there. How do we generate that? That man was onto something.
We need one. It can't just be OVO Fest.
No,
It can't just be Caravana.
No.
We got to have something else.
exactly. You know they ain't bringing Rolling Loud back here.
I know.
Y'all know why, right?
I've been said that.
No, why?
Oh, okay.
Why?
Tell us.
From what I heard,
I think it's the police.
From what I heard, you have an event like Rolling Loud Miami, and you ain't never had issues around, like, I mean, general security and things like that are always going to be of concern, and it's never an issue. But when they had to do it for Toronto, it's like the security measures surpassed what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yes. How is that feasible?
But why did that even have to do? Like,
Because of
but
the police.
but the
I
police,
wish-
but the police down here.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm thinking it's a police thing, and this is why
It definitely is.
This goes back to why the underground rappers need to have some sort of communication to the higher ups. Because if they don't, there's no way we're gonna cut off that police thing. The police are always gonna lock off everything.
Yeah, the hip hop police.
So until there's some sort of structure where it's less like, yo, we have to let these young guys perform, or they're just gonna end up in jail anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they don't get, like, performing, touring is like one of the most important things, and Toronto rappers can't do it.
Correct, because they have no decorum.
So
So when we're handling business, people shouldn't be scared to do business with you. You can rap and say what you do. How many gangster rappers are they out of the U.S.? They
Yeah,
get
but
booked
that's
out the
exactly.
wazoo.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody scared
yeah.
about a Crip and Snoop Dogg coming on their stage.
Yeah,
Ain't
that's
nobody
true.
scared of that. Because
a good
guess what?
point.
Snoop Dogg's not going to meet with you backstage and say, 50 of my dudes got to get in or this show's not happening.
But-
that's what Toronto mans are doing.
But even Rolling
they're getting
Loud-
opportunities and they're disrespecting the people that are giving them to them.
But even Rolling Loud's the same way though, because Rolling Loud is built on the underground artists. Like it's not
Correct.
like they didn't have underground artists there fighting and doing all kinds of crazy shit
True.
anyway.
But
So to come to
imagine-
Toronto and be
Right.
like that, to me, that's wild.
Listen, that whole Rolling Loud Toronto set list literally had all the Toronto artists perform in the morning. Every single American artist on that bill performed in the evening, other than major Canadian artists like the Chromas. There was like the ones that weren't as
Chromas and like the
controversial.
Wasp Gang, maybe
Right.
them.
But
they were still
majority,
like it was still morning. There was still light
bullet.
outside.
It was about 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So they knew the way Toronto politics works. You see when that lights go down, when that sun go down, it's rough out here, bro.
But do you think that they actually made money too?
Oh, for sure they made money, man.
But do you think that they made the money that they estimated to make?
Like expense
Because
versus,
just like you're seeing,
When I think about the security measures and the price tag around that,
exactly.
they probably maybe broke even, and the hype was at least there.
And that was probably the reason why it's probably not even worth it. Because if we have to do all these measures just to
Right.
have a performance down here, and we
Okay.
don't have to do that in the States,
Tell
then
it,
why the
Gutsy.
fuck are we gonna come back here? Because it's been how many years? Every year, we'll see you next year.
That's right.
See you next year.
Yeah.
Just say you're not coming.
Just say you're not
Just
coming and
tell
call
the
it
people
done.
because it's not like, yo, these rappers, that's all that was their only hope. It's just like,
Literally.
yo,
Yeah.
what else are we gonna do other than
Yeah.
wait for Rolling Loud? But now it's just like no Rolling Loud. Just tell the people them,
Right.
yo, the cops them said we can't come back. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
cops them said, yo, loud that.
That's right.
or just say the expense doesn't make
They're
sense
not
to the
gonna say that.
revenue.
Yeah,
They would never
won't.
say that. They're not gonna say
never will.
that.
That's a brand. They
Yeah,
will
that's
definitely
what I'm saying. Blame it on the boy
We
them.
love for people to
Blame
be
it on the boy
transparent,
them.
but throw it on the boy them.
Yeah,
Straight
throw it
up.
on the boy them.
It's just too many. The hip hop police are so ingrained in our society here. But again, it's all around the decorum. Like we get treated how we want to be treated. Like if you're gonna go around and have issues outside of the hood, I mean, you can't bring your issues to Rolling Loud. I couldn't believe how many. I had interviews lined up with everybody. Shout out to Doovie. Shout out to the Crooks.
The crook. Free
Yeah,
up.
free
Pressa.
him.
You did Pressa
I
too.
did Pressa. And there were so many other Canadian musicians I had lined up. You see, as the hour approached, I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say which names, but I started getting texts from their PR agents that the Man Dem are narrow. Narrow. I interviewed G Herbo. Like, what? Narrow of who? Definitely wasn't me. They're saying they're
Yeah,
narrow
they're of the
about
situation.
who-
Who's gonna be
being
there? We know.
They were concerned of when their exposure. If I do this interview, how exposed I am, who's going to be around, who could be wild. And I'm just thinking to myself, I interviewed G Herbo.
But yeah, it's
Toronto,
different settings though.
Yeah, but you're in their hometown. Like it's like
No,
home,
it's
they
not
have
even.
home
No,
court
it's
advantage.
no.
G Herbo.
I'm saying a different setting where you're doing it in a studio
Oh,
where
yeah,
they're
that too.
outside.
True.
You
And
know what
that
I'm
too.
saying?
Yeah, that's
true.
And I'm not giving them the blighs
True.
because it should be let me
However-
just go 2 minutes with them, bang bang,
Right.
get out in and out.
You came to do a professional show. You want to be seen as
Mm-hmm.
a professional. I am in a professional media outlet. I have no affiliations with what's going on as far as politics in this street. I had to go through a vetting process and a very thorough one. Ask my boy from We Love Hip Hop and ask him what we went through to get media passes. You're here to be a professional. You do your part and I do mine. Those guys dropped the ball. A lot of the Toronto musicians
They
on
did.
that show dropped the ball because that was a huge opportunity to shine as a city
Mm-hmm.
and as a country.
You're not lying, and that's not the first time they did it because it happened in the academics things too. Because after the academics,
Oh, man.
all of them went on academics stream. They all argued and did a
started
whole
up.
bunch of idiot things. But what happened after? Nobody did anything.
Of
They
course
all
not.
dropped the ball. And two, since we're all exposing shit,
Please do.
Axe said, yeah, like from those two lives, who actually came and supported him after either? It's not like none of these niggas go on his stream. It's not like none of these niggas actually go tap in with him.
So come on. And this is the thing, right? We're trying to manage relationships. I'm trying to figure out, do these guys want to make it?
No, they don't.
I don't know. Are you doing it for your hood then? That's why I said they're only as good as the man that's getting ready in front of the mirror supporting their dog. because they're getting ready to go out. Like I'm playing your music in my bathroom. That's as far as it's gonna go. Y'all, this is not even about being a popcorn rapper now. These are like, yo, what's going on, Bridget? We're not reaching nowhere.
I think it's lack of education all around. Like I always think about it, and it circles right back to the lack of education. Okay,
That's why I wanted to
Because
switch
my
it up
belly
with
is
divas.
rumbling, so I want to hit up our sponsors really quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, my belly's been like it's just rumbling right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Please.
we have to big up Mishi's Eatery that gave us a whole pot load of fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show it because I don't know how to show it
Look
properly.
at that food. Oh my goodness. Y'all don't want me to leave, man.
So located in the West End, and it's in Weston Road. You can hit them up, order. They got everything West Indian food. I believe they have like I believe they do like deliveries in like America, Jamaica,
They
and
do
Canada.
deliveries all the way out there.
Yeah, fam.
That's madness.
You know what I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
get some napkins.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
please.
Ooh, the smell is superb.
Yo, it's been hitting me since we picked
See,
it up,
that's why you said
and I
belly
was
out grumble.
yo, like I haven't ate all day. I don't know why I always do this to myself. But yeah, hit up Nishi's Eatery, man. Let them know the Man Dem sent you. I'm gonna see if we can like do a little thing if you do a promo code or whatever. But yeah, man, this food I've been seeing them for a while. I believe they had a store in the West End, but yeah, now they're doing the catering thing. So yeah, Mishi, thank you. We appreciate you, my guy Sheffy. You done know, appreciate you. And yeah, man, this is our sponsor for the weekend.
Shout out
Holy,
to our
man.
sponsor.
Like, yes,
Thank you
I
guys
have to-
so much.
Yeah, I just have
I
to.
love my belly, you know.
We gotta also
Oi.
shout out our clothing sponsor for the day.
Please do.
Villains. Give
That looks good.
I met them at the stock market today. They do have a Instagram. I'm gonna post it somewhere, everywhere. You already know how I do. But yeah, check out. There's a great shirt. I bought it because of Riley. I can't even lie. I saw Riley and I'm like, yeah, that's my. The Boondocks is one of my favorite TV shows ever. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they're
love
neat
it.
still. They got the villains thing. They got this little. It looks like it's like I don't know how they did this shit, but it is super neat.
Thank you.
Super neat. Super.
Yeah,
neat.
it looks dope. You guys look great.
Broski, you have a plate? They give him a plate in the back.
I think the best thing is when a man can feed a woman.
Alone?
know.
Oh, I know how
When
to
a
cook
man
too.
can feed a woman,
Ooh, y'all Jamaican?
No.
Okay, what are you?
Yeah, let's do the guessing.
Trini Grenadian. Oh, want to guess?
Trini to the bone.
Trini Grenadian.
You know crazy, you know?
Nah, we good.
Trini man badness.
Nah,
I
we
love
good.
one of them. Ooh, this looks good, y'all. I want that.
You want that piece?
Yeah, I like that. Nice
Broski.
and crunchy. That look good. Ooh, thanks, y'all. I wasn't expected to be fed.
Come on,
Y'all
man. We
definitely
treat our
tryna-
guests good.
Ooh, I love it.
We treat our guests real good.
Y'all really trying to get them
So hold
on
on.
the side.
So we're having this conversation off camera. Who makes the best fried chicken?
In the city?
In general.
Mm-mm.
Out of the races. I'm gonna put a controversial one. So I have to go at the end. I have to hear y'all first.
Hold on, fried chicken.
Who makes the best fried chicken?
Help me out, Trey. Who got some good fried chicken? Because I love going to the South for the fried chicken. Chicken don't hit here. You got to go to the South for that shit.
The salt definitely hit.
Niggas put in work, but I have to give it to the Filipinos.
Really? Really?
I wasn't expecting that one.
Ayata.
Low key, go to
Jollibee's?
East End.
Okay,
Go
I
to
thought he
East
was about to say
End.
Jollibee. I'm like, I'm not going there
No, no,
still.
no, no.
I'm not going there.
Go to the East End. They got it turned. Low key, Koreans got it turned.
Korean.
Shut
I
up.
fuck with Korean.
Yeah, and low key, people from Barbados.
I like that.
Shout out my Bayesian people.
Oh my God. I wasn't
Even though I
expecting
don't
to
rep
say
you
that.
guys.
You're dissing.
Oh my God.
Who do you think,
Betsy,
Paula?
what are you, though? I want to know what you are first and I know what to answer.
I'm Bayesian and Guyanese.
Handsome man. Bayesian and Guyanese, that's what it gives?
Everybody thinks it's like Jamaican or African.
That's why I said it right away. I'm like, he got to be Jamaican or African.
Nope.
You know, mixed breed people are the
Damn.
best looking people
Good
still.
looking man.
You know, when you're
Thank you.
mixed with when you're cross race, they're the best looking people in
I
the world.
agree. I agree.
They gotta be mixed with something.
Okay, for me, guys, fried chicken, ain't nobody beat fried chicken like my mama do. Straight up.
Oh, man. So
I give it to
African?
My mama, yeah. Africans. Nigerian, though. We just came from the Nigerian
Nigerian
restaurant,
side?
too, so shout out to my Nigerians. Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Vegas?
Fried chicken, I give it to the Yardis them still. The Yardis them can cook some fried chicken. Some really neat, like they're very careful with their shit. I fuck with them still.
When I went to Jamaica, that's all I ate too. See, my accent is coming out now. When I went to Yard, I thought I was in my bosom. Like I was in my home. Let me tell you, I went to Jamaica 3 times last year. It was my first time going to Jamaica. You see, when I arrived with my girlfriend, we almost stayed there for 1 month. Shout out to my girl Marley, man, from Erie, Pennsylvania. All I ate was fried chicken. And I didn't eat fried chicken from like, oh, you must go to KFC and get tuna fried. Me don't want them fried chicken, yeah. Me want the one on road. You see the one on the side of the road? Are the best food.
Even though the KFC fried chicken over there is lit.
I hear that. I hear that all the time. I
yeah, I
couldn't
want
stay
the
in
one on
line,
road, though.
It's like 3 hours in that line for fried chicken.
Yeah, that's too much.
Madness.
What about you, Gotchi?
This is obvious.
This is really good, though. I can't front.
Yeah, this is proper.
My God.
I would have liked a little like pepper in it or something.
Yes.
But other than that, I like it still. It's proper.
Succulent,
And it
fresh.
has the crunch, like everything proper, the skin.
Yes.
But yeah, guys,
Definitely hitting.
what's the biggest fast food fried chicken place in the world?
KFC, man.
Popeyes?
KFC.
They're always going to hold it down forever, though.
And who made that? A white man, no?
Actually, it was a stolen recipe from a black woman who was a slave, apparently. They stole that shit.
Well, white people, they always steal shit, right? But
Yeah.
like,
Thank you, Gutsi.
but like, yeah, man. But when you go to the South too, don't get it twisted. The white people do fry, like,
they
yo,
fry them
they can fry up
Yep.
something. So I'm not gonna lie, like, that's the
Agreed.
one thing that the white people don't get wrong is frying up shit. The rest of their stuff, questionable. Everything else is super questionable. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm a food. No, I'm a foodie. Like, I'll spend my last amount of money on food. So when I'm on Instagram and TikTok and I be seeing the weird shit that these motherfuckers be making, I'm just like, what? Like, why? But they be making it and they be never eating it either. Eh? You never see these motherfuckers eat the shit, or they be like, and then the video stops. The craziest shit,
They
peanut
so
butter,
right.
like, but
It's
yeah.
like they knew they didn't wash that chicken. That's why they done made it and kept it. They knew they didn't wash it.
But yeah, they
Paula,
can,
you cook?
I cook. I love cooking. As an African woman, the eldest child, the only daughter, that is compulsory. You have to know how to cook. So, and I'm mixed, right? So, yeah, I do my fair share of cooking.
What's your favorite? What's your go-to?
Oh my God, I love me some ackee and saltfish. I think I abuse that too
Oh,
much.
yeah?
I just got up in the kitchen. Oh, it's ackee and saltfish today.
I never knew African people eat ackee and stuff.
Of course we eat it. We even have ackee in Ghana. But guess what? You guys eat the ackee. We use it as a soap.
Really?
Found that
Soap?
out from my
Ackee as
pops the
soap?
other day. Ackee, they laugh at Jamaicans. They say, look at the ackee they're eating. We use it as a soap. Imagine life, fool.
I didn't even know Aki was in the black soap. I know about the soap you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Ackee, they turn it into a soap and they use it.
What kind of properties is in something that you can eat and put on your skin?
I know.
Well, I guess that's coconut. Coconut
That
oil.
too. Mhm.
Yeah?
That
Coconut,
too.
you could eat that.
Oh, yeah.
Put it in your hair.
Put
Put it in your
food,
skin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Make a lotion, cocoa butter, all sorts.
Exactly.
Actually, cocoa butter is chocolate, right?
All right, I have to get even more mix here.
Oh, I love that.
Are you single?
Oh, my God. I'm as single as an American dollar bill.
Oh man.
So I'm definitely single.
Why?
Is it the Toronto? Is it the Toronto scene? Is that why? Is it Toronto men have scared you away from dating?
To be honest,
Or are you just too busy?
She's an international woman still. Do you think Toronto's gonna stop her?
them
Yeah.
type of thing them and I like to know because most of the men where me date and have long relationship. My longest relationship was 10 years and it was with a guy from Detroit, Michigan. And he lived here in Toronto, just happened to be born and raised in Detroit. You know, my next relationship after that was with a teacher. He was from New York City, but born and raised in Toronto, but was a teacher in New York City. Master's degree holder, great guy. So I've kind of been affiliated with Americans for the most part. And every time I've tried to date a Canadian, they're madness. Like, no offense to you guys, but the men have turned into the gal.
Like in what sense though? Like what do you mean?
Y'all want the catering.
Oh,
Y'all want to be cared for. I'm not saying that I wouldn't do that necessarily, but I feel like as a woman who's African raised, my job is to cater to my man and ultimately serve him. Ladies might take that the wrong way. I really don't give a fuck. But for me personally, it's your job. Like a woman's job is to feed the household and to feed the household spiritually. Right? So she feeds the household based on the input from the husband. He is the director, the producer, the engineer, in that, right? So if ultimately what you're receiving is good, then good will be produced. But if I'm not receiving good, what value is this for you or I? And I'm finding that too much, it has become too often here in Toronto. The men don't provide value. Your dick is not value, honey.
But do you
It's
feel like
ran
it's
through.
Do you feel like there's no value in men in general in Canada because like it's hard for just men to get jobs. It's just hard for a man to just evolve in the city itself.
It's very true, you know. A lot
But
of
they
it-
don't talk about that. Like
That's you know what?
they ain't giving out any jobs. Like just
They're
like
really
that.
not. They're really not. You know, I rate the guy that turns nothing out of something still. So I know it's tough, but I'm a black woman too, and it's tough, you know, just having the color. So, and I've not to even just toot my own horn. I've been working for the government for 15 years. So I ain't gonna say which position. It's a government job.
That's all they
So-
need to know.
Exactly. So in addition to, it's like you kind of want somebody not doing the same job as me, but I worked hard. Did you? Why would I need to give you a blight to be with me because you're still playing catch up? It's a tough conversation for me to have, but I know my value.
True.
So I remain single without a child until, you know, God permits.
Is a child a decision? I know we're getting deep. Is a child a decision that you made on your own, or is it something that you just can't have because
No.
of technicalities or whatever?
Christ, you're
Wow.
getting deep.
That's a very
Holy,
personal
that's
question.
I know that, I just
Very
said that. I might go a bit personal, but I'm
Listen, I'm
asking.
with the man Dem.
You don't have to answer. I'm just
I
asking.
like that.
Every episode,
I
you just
know.
gotta get one of
That
them,
was
man.
deep.
That was,
No, 'cause-
that's like you might as well ask her how much she weighs.
I know at this point, right? 160. But anyway, yeah. You know, the whole kid situation. I just think my kids deserve the best. Like I really feel they deserve the best. The best could look like whatever. The best. You didn't hear me saying he has to be rich. You didn't hear me saying he has to drive a G-Wagon. You didn't even
gotta
hear
put
me
in some
saying
effort.
he's just got to be a genuinely good guy that's on the right path, and we got to mesh that way. And I want to give that to my children. They don't deserve to be fatherless. You know what I mean? I saw love. I was very fortunate enough to see a father that loved his wife, and I was blessed that way. Shout out to my mother and father. You know, so oh no, I know what I deserve still. I know what my kids deserve, so I'm not rushing that process.
No, women are having children at like 42 now, like 46. Like, so it doesn't matter. I don't think age is a limit no more. And the
agree.
older we're getting, we're still looking younger.
Yes, we
You know what I'm
are.
saying? I'm a grandfather, right? So
Oh
I'm
my.
I'm only 38,
That nigga old.
39.
I don't even have a kid of my own yet.
You know what I'm
Me
saying?
neither.
So it's like,
I'm 38. I'm 38 in a couple of months.
You guys look. You know, this whole time I thought you guys doing this show were a bunch of 20-year-olds. I'm like, what
wish.
they know?
Exactly,
Remember
right?
when and we ain't even cleaned up. If I clean up, then I would really
Extra
look like I'm
young,
like
yeah.
at least like 28, 29.
You guys look like babies. I'm 36.
oh, you're young.
You're the baby
Yeah,
here.
you're young. You're the baby still.
That's crazy.
Yeah, young thing.
Yeah, I am.
But
Listen.
accomplished at that, and that's fucking.
That's all that
beautiful.
matters. That's the
Thank
most
you
important
so
thing.
That's the most beautifulest thing, and chasing your dreams and working. The 9-to-5 person chasing their dreams, putting on this show. You're doing God's work, honey.
Oh, thank you.
I would give you a hand clap, but man,
Thank
I'm
you.
kinda
It's
dirty.
okay. I'll clap for us. I want to
I
get
got-
my claps in on this show.
But I got more questions for you before we leave too.
Absolutely. I'm so down.
Are the girls that more caddier in the industry, and I'm talking about Toronto than the Man Dem? Because I talk about it all the time. How come we don't see? Oh, excuse me. I got called out for it, but we don't see like a ladies' night.
Exactly.
There should be. Like the song came out, but it didn't have the biggest ladies in the game out there. Like I
Correct.
want to see Paris, I want to see Goldie,
Me
I want to
too.
see Nana, I want to
Me
see at least
too.
Double M, like
Oh.
Tay Lee.
Imagine all of these women on one record.
Yeah, they don't have beef like that.
No,
as
they
far as
don't.
I know, actually, let me stop
No,
that.
they-
Let me
as
stop.
far as I know,
I don't
too.
know if you guys, you know what I'm saying. I don't know late
Exactly.
behind the scene who fought who's baby daddy or
Exactly.
whatever. I don't know, but like. Come on, fam. It's not that serious. Like, if you guys are really rappers and you guys really care about the music, I feel like there should be something like that. So, I'm pretty sure you know
agree.
behind the scenes.
I'm gonna be so real though. The women are very catty. They are quite catty, you know, and that's the thing that I think. And I'm not trying to be sexist, but it almost is like speaking to that narrative of who a woman is. Oh yeah, they're all about that drama. Women, you know, they meddle a bit. But for some of them, with good reason, and for some of them, no. So what we want to be able to do is dismantle all that. Like, there shouldn't be challenges to working together if we're women who want to accomplish the same thing. Why should there be a challenge if we share the same vision? It makes no sense. So let's just stop it. Like, what the fuck is the point? What I hear a lot of is, this person fucked this person. And I'd be real with you. Since I got on Toronto Divas, haven't heard one catty thing yet. Those women know I don't play. Don't bring that shit my way.
Yo, sad boy, hop on the Toronto Divas thing, fam. Like, what the hell?
Oh my God, we were just talking about her today too. Like, what a
she's
dream
dope,
come
but-
she is, and I love her movement. But they did her dirty. Did you see that Canadian award show?
Yeah.
That had her performing?
Yeah.
And I literally I seen Toronto rappers, shout out to them. Yo, Toronto rappers, dope people. I met them at Rolling Loud. But I seen them post a video snippet of how they dealt with her at that show, and it broke my heart. I just wanted to get in the comments and be like, we welcome you at Toronto Divas. Like, girl, come through.
But that's my problem with people like, I don't want to get at her, but I kind of have to.
Please do.
She should be rocking with people like you.
Yeah.
Because it's we're the ones that are really supporting her. It's not
Right.
these other people that she's doing interviews with that rock with her and shit like that.
So true.
She should be tapping into the hood. Like the grungy, not saying you're grungy, but
No,
grungy people like
but
me.
the grassroots, like,
but
we're
yeah,
the,
like
we're starting with the the elements right here. We in the thick of it. You know what I
like
mean?
she should have a keep six solid 16 because like you know what I'm saying. She should be
goodness.
rocking with those people because we're the ones that are really supporting her, not these other people that are just getting her for views and.
Absolutely. How do you think?
We
about
know
people?
you, Ebony. Right?
You guys all know
Yep.
Gubby, Alighted.
No, that's
Oh,
her.
she gonna
That was
get
her.
cheesed
That
if
was
you
her
can't
artist
clip this.
name before Sad Boy.
Oh, cool.
Her name
She
was
gonna get
Ebony. She
cheesed
got
if you clip
signed and all
this.
sorts of stuff. Right? I did my research because I really wanted to talk to her. I wanted to talk to her about her music career and her
Absolutely. We do
upliftment.
too,
But you know,
yes.
hopefully one day, you know, she smartens up and she just.
Exactly.
It's not even giving us a chance. It's just rocking with the people that rock with you.
Absolutely.
We have a short clip for her, but I'm not putting it out yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, like. Sad boy on the Toronto Divas, you know what I'm saying? Giving
it
that
only makes
that
sense.
boom. You know what I'm saying? Not to
Exactly.
just her, but to you. You know what I'm saying? It just
And
works
the
both
other
ways.
girls that are coming up under
because
her.
They won't be
helps.
afraid to, okay, Sad Boy went on there, I want to go there on there too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all a domino effect. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Sad Boy was to even go on We Love Hip Hop or Extra Gravy Podcast or Us or
Not Extra
Real
Gravy.
Toronto News.
No offense. I love those. No offense. I love them. They're higher up, fam.
It doesn't matter, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
Even
it
it doesn't matter.
It
like,
does.
what I'm saying is like,
I don't want to
You-
throw
them
shade.
niggas
but
are
higher
on
up
flow.
where,
Them
though?
niggas are
on flow,
okay, but what I'm
Where,
saying is like,
though?
as an
Let
artist,
me
you need to
stop.
be on every
I'm gonna get
platform
canceled.
possible.
Yes. No,
It doesn't
I
matter
hear that.
what level you are. You're in the city, I need to be there.
No, but there's different levels.
Doesn't even matter.
Yes,
about
they
the
do
levels,
have to be
bro.
on all of them.
You
Actually,
have to
let me
be
take
every
that back.
single
You're
one.
right. They do need
Every
to be on all
single
of them.
one.
Thank you, and
You have
that's
to
why
be
I
on
was
every
about to
single-
say higher level where. Like,
Yeah,
we're all
the-
after the same thing. Yes, some
Exactly.
people have more followings than another, but not everyone's connections are the same, you know.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Do we care, like, as much about the music or the business or both? Because we're trying to exceed at all. Right? So if you're just going to be saying I'm just putting out music and you don't care about building good relationships with people, you're only looking for the clout chase, you are literally kicking yourself, shooting yourself in the foot before you can walk. It makes no sense. So I wanted to ask you guys, because I noticed things in the city, like as soon as people get a Drake shout out or some sort of Drake attachment or
They fall
clout,
off.
or no, they just detach themselves from the hood. They just, it's like, and I'm
Do
not
they?
saying Sad Boy or anything is like that, but I noticed, like, I'm like, is it because maybe they've got the Drake shout out, they feel they don't need to come on a podcast like ours, or they feel they don't need to sit down with us. What are your thoughts around that? I know it's my interview, but I'm interviewing y'all now.
No,
That's cool.
we
I don't
we're
think that they
talking.
detach themselves from the hood, but I do think that they put themselves in a bigger bracket. They feel like they're bigger than other people because they got the Drake cosign or shout out, which
that-
it mean and to me, for the Toronto artist, hasn't been the greatest.
Right.
Musically, excuse me. If you're talking about the R&B guys, I don't know, but like hip hop guys, they haven't fared well.
Yeah, they have.
Roadrunner's doing his thing, but like hasn't crossed over yet. Hasn't had like a mainstream
Correct.
hit. YT and Paco, he's on and off with the music situation. Boogs,
Right.
amazing records together. We'll never really hear them together again. We don't know. Like Smiley's the only person, and Smiley only has one song with him.
Correct.
So it's like, to me, I feel like it's a bad thing, and it's going back to why I feel like it makes more sense for Drake to do music with a lot of these guys, because he can actually speak to them. He can be with them. He can tell them, yo, maybe you should do this on the song. Maybe, you know, put a little bit of this on the song. Like,
Right.
I think it's more important than just co-signing them and be like, yo, this song's cool. Bushman
and
put out a
maybe-
great album,
Shout
but
out to
fuck,
Bushman,
fam.
fellow Nigerian.
Yeah, shout out Bushman.
Yeah, he's dope. That shit was hard.
He's
That
dope
shit
as
was
fuck.
hard.
But where the fuck is he,
I
fam?
know.
Drop some more music,
Oh,
bro.
he's just out there spending money. He's always on some
like,
trip
living
on a beach
life.
in
But-
Venice or something.
But it goes back to it. Are like, and I don't want to get into these guys' personal lives, but are you guys really into it for the music too, right?
right.
It's like the game. It's like you get the Drake and the game's over. Like it's done.
You
Game-
won. You got to the
You
last
know what
level
I'm
of
saying?
Mario.
You want to,
Exactly,
you know what I'm
that's what
saying?
I
You hit
just
the last
meant.
boss, but it's not that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to be the creator of the game now. Like you need to like you said, and we know and I know Drake speaks to artists on the ones. He does do mentorship in that
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
I don't think he's doing one-on-ones. Come check me, but I know he's doing
Yeah, he
the
reaches
one-on-ones.
out and shouts
He
out on
reaches
one-on-one,
out.
yeah.
He shows love to the city, and that's how he does
does.
support the indie acts. I'm not gonna say he doesn't, right?
Yes.
But I think what you want to see is you want to just see it more visually. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like getting
I
like
wanna see-
like the Smiley record didn't have a music video. That should have that should have had a music video.
Fam, the
he
same way that he's
A&R'd
around Sexy Red, I want him to be around
Around
Toronto
Toronto.
artists.
There it
That's
is.
it.
I
There
have
it
to
is.
Why?
agree with you on that.
There it
Fam,
is.
why?
do.
I'm from fucking Toronto. Why
Right.
can't I feel like that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why do I have to be a hater or be like, oh well, why does he? Because he's the biggest artist in the fucking world and he's from my city. So yes, the same way he's around Sexy Red, same way he's around Black Boy JB and all the rest of these waste youths that not really doing anything in the industry. I want him to be around these guys in the industry. That's it. I don't give a fuck. Like I feel like that would help our city so much more.
It would. It would bring a
He's
lot
got
more
to pick
money.
and choose who he does it with, though, because at the end of the day, a lot of the mans people want him to do a song with, they can't even get to America type shit. What happens
It doesn't
after he
matter
does the
anymore.
song?
Getting to America is
You can still.
It's like 10 years ago issues. Like, we don't need to get into America. There's fucking AI shows, virtual shows.
Yeah,
They're
there's
spinning
ways to
you
go
know what I'm
around
saying?
it.
They're doing concerts in the comfort of their house and they're just jumping around and they're still portraying that on the screen.
there is.
Bushman,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
but okay,
Guys-
going back to your thought, Bushman, he gave the shout out to Bushman. Bushman can travel.
Can travel where in particular? Have you
He's in
seen
LA.
him
Yeah,
He's in LA.
which is a
He's in
good
the
look,
States.
which is a
Okay.
good look.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Presser.
Yeah.
Been
Presser
in
can
LA
travel.
for
Yeah,
how
yeah.
freaking long?
Yeah,
I'll say
yeah,
this
yeah.
though: wouldn't you ideally want to co-sign someone and see them in Canada and in America doing shows? A lot of these
Thank
niggas,
you.
if you put them on a lineup in Canada, the venue's getting shot up. So
Okay,
they
okay,
don't
but
really
okay,
wanna go.
no. That's fine. Hawaii Mighty, Toby.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Thelonious,
Thelonious,
we met John Cabana.
John Cabana.
Oh my
We can
gosh,
fam. It's
there's
not
so
like
much.
it's not even the underground
It doesn't
guys.
have to
That's
be
my
street
point.
niggas, yeah.
It doesn't have to be street niggas. Come around the fucking pop niggas too.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't give a
Just
fuck.
show some sort of movement.
Taylor,
Yes,
you know what I'm
Philly,
saying?
give it-
Double M.
Double M.
Fam, just come around Toronto the
Yeah.
same way you're in Houston all the time. You're in LA.
And putting on all these new artists. Yeah.
Do that here. That's why. You see, when LA did all that shit, that's why they're able to do that over here because they're looking at him. That's why they're able to call him a colonizer and all that bullshit. Because it's like, yo, why don't you go do that shit in Toronto?
Didn't he try?
No! When the fuck did he try?
With that OVO Fest, we brought all the OGs. What was that? Wasn't that something similar?
It was, but
So
Okay,
let's-
so
let's-
let's not
was.
shit on him like he
Let's be
doesn't do
honest.
these things.
Right.
no.
He
But
shot-
we're playing fair
No,
here.
no, no.
I want
we
to
are-
play fair.
But
I like
but
that,
how many of the
Vegas.
younger
I like
acts did he have on there?
That's the thing.
How
And
many-
that's the disconnect between the young and the old again. Like,
he had,
it's just-
remember, Roddy Rich came after my boy had a whole fucking, and yes, the OVO set was a little bit different, but
Yeah.
it's like he had a whole set of people that influenced him. Kendrick
Correct.
was doing it for the whole
LA, the
city
whole
of
Cali.
LA.
That's
It
it.
wasn't just, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was trying to bring them together.
And he did. And he
Just-
did. Bloods
so-
and Crips that should be literally shooting each other in the same room.
So you're telling me right now, the same guy that we see have niggas switch up, that used to diss him all the time, the same guy that we see every day keep 6 solid is dissing the fuck out of Kendrick every chance he gets. He can't message a 1-2 people from Toronto and put together a big ass Toronto concert, which to me it's still not gonna be as impactful as the fucking Kendrick one. But like, let's be fucking real. That's the reason why the industry attacks him the way he does. There's no, like, fam, we can, like, I love Drake. He's one of my most playable artists. I want him to fucking win, but he's not going to win until he comes fucking home. It's like, it's easy, bro. We go back to it. Toronto doesn't even have a fucking anthem. What's Toronto's
We don't.
anthem?
We
Everybody's
don't.
gonna say, "Oh, Griselda Blanca, come outside." But if you ask New York, what's New York's anthem? They'll tell you New York,
in
New York.
New York.
They'll
Like,
tell
it
you
says
the
the
one with
city's
Jay
Okay,
Z.
name.
okay,
Says
let's
the
not
city's name.
compare cities
No,
that
you have
have
to.
been doing hip hop
Okay.
since the 70s
And
to
Toronto
a
was doing it
place
to the
that
80s.
just we just got a star that really broke at the end of the 2000s. There was people like in LA. Niggas forget Run DMC was doing world tours in the 80s.
Correct.
And my show wasn't? My show wasn't off of Let Your Backbone Side.
Are we
'Cause
gonna
I had this argument about somebody
I literally
the other day.
met Maestro Fresh West. Let's not compare him to Run DMC, guys that had maybe 20, 30 mega
Run
hits all over the
DMC,
world.
These guys are the,
That's what
heads of hip hop. If we were to,
But that's what I'm trying to
But you
say.
wanna-
We're comparing a place
But that
like
goes back to what
LA.
I'm trying to say now.
Drake's our first. He's our Run DMC. He's
Good.
our Dr. Dre. You know what I mean? It's really niggas like blaming him. He's the first. It's really on us now to like make our own stardom the same way and then build up a history
It's
of
just
this
gonna be a
sort of-
cycle.
No.
I don't
You want to
think
know
that-
why? Because with that mentality makes the cycle of, okay, well, let's just take it off of Drake. Because what did Run DMC did? Because
put New York on.
not just
No,
put New York
he
on,
put a
but
whole label. I
they
swear
put the
he-
whole label
Def
on.
Jam,
Not
LL
even,
Cool
not
J,
even just that.
Rick Rubin.
We
like,
have from
the
Run
whole
DMC.
sound. That was
Without
the whole
Run
sound.
DMC, you don't even get fucking 50.
No, exactly.
So
Because Jam
that's
Master
my
Jay is a part of that
point.
collective.
They
look how long it
built.
took.
It doesn't matter about how long it took. Drake's been in the industry for 15 fucking years.
Yeah, but
Let's
we're
stop
talking
using
about-
that excuse, bro.
But we're talking about people who did shit in the 80s and we're in 2024. So we're talking about 44 years.
So imagine
type
the-
shit.
so
Drake started 2008. Let's give it some time.
when
for
the
this
process
industry to
when
grow.
also the process is a lot
point.
easier, there's a lot more stuff to get out there. So again, to my point, why doesn't he just build? They don't like you over there. You've been seeing that they don't like you over there. They don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
Come
back
home, my
Come
nigga.
back home.
But
Build something here. That's why even here, it going back to your point, why Doovie would tell the biggest artist in the world, give me a fucking bag. That's why, because he's the biggest artist in the world and whatever, he popped off from here, he's the first one that popped off. But continue to build the city up.
Yeah.
Continue to build. He knows how the struggle is. He knows that
Yeah.
everybody else is struggling.
Yeah.
So why are you giving these songs to Sexy Red when you have a whole fucking label?
Well, he's giving
the
the songs to Sexy Red because there's an exchange there.
A value.
People don't
Of
like
what?
to.
You have a
Talk about
label,
that
my
value
nigga.
exchange.
Let's be honest, fam. Was Sexy Red's clout coming from Drake? No, she was lit before. He's attaching himself to her
her,
because
yeah,
he's
to
trying to
remain
reach
relevant,
to remain relevant. So
But he doesn't
we
need to
now
remain-
need to do things. We now need to do things ourselves, maybe on social media.
No.
that now
That's the wrong
make it more
idea.
of an exchange.
That's the wrong idea.
He could have, going back to my point, there's so many other people out here that he could have gave a funny fucking thing to. He gave it to Snow Day. Really and fucking truly. He could have gave that to What's With Andy.
But did it? But let's look at it. Did it work?
No.
That kid got the whole world. He got the band that actually made the initial song "Hey There, Delilah." He got the plain white
It went
tees
viral. It
reacting
actually
to
went
the
viral.
And saying
actual
that
song.
it's an AI.
So it
Yeah.
worked.
But
So-
did
what
it
he said
work?
worked.
But
went
it makes the
viral.
whole no. It didn't work because it just went viral.
Viral
but the
is the
rest of the
goal.
world looks at us like it doesn't look at us like we're serious
Remember, that's the
musicians.
representation now from Toronto.
Exactly.
That person.
The
right?
man
Which
there,
isn't-
the man they're co-signing
which
Lion is
isn't a
Cure.
true
I'm sorry, I know she's a
representation.
Toronto diva, but
Yeah.
I don't know if she was on Toronto Divas. Was she?
Ooh.
Lion is Cure, the Indian
Oh, not
thing.
yet. We're trying to get her.
Come on, really, fam? The man's promoting her. Like, I don't know,
know.
fam.
But he's also tried to promote a lot of niggas that shoot themselves in the foot
that's my
after the
problem.
fact.
That's
They
my
look at it like, yo, Drake just shouted me out. I don't need to do anything. That TikTok shit is lame. All that, and they
It's
feel
what
like
are
that's
people
all
doing
they
with
need.
their attachments to Drake even right now. That's a good point though, because there's a lot of people that have the OVO affiliation. And it's like, but what are people doing with that? Or at least what's Drake doing with that? I don't know. My little piece that I wanted to add to that, one of the best places I've ever been to where I saw music magic would have to be in Atlanta, Georgia. That was where I met DMX, just chilling in the back of my hotel, and D came out and like it was insane. And D was explaining, why he, as a New Yorkan, loved, rest in peace to DMX, y'all, why he loved coming to Atlanta. And he talked about like this family-oriented feel about, it's like a
city.
cohesion that the city shares, and it's true. One of my favorite videos by Pee Wee Longway from Atlanta, shout out to him. Oh, I've always wanted to interview him. Pee Wee Longway back in the day had a huge run, like
Of
2016, 2017, if you were really on
Master
him.
P, we got the hookup. Show me how. Come
The
on,
blue
man.
M&Ms.
The ice cream.
Boy,
the ice
don't
cream.
get me started. So he had a great run. If you look at this one video, it goes, that's how a nigga came in. It's called Came In.
Yeah.
You literally see the Migos.
Yeah, before they were
the
big.
Migos were the Migos.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one in
Skipper
there.
the Flipper was in there. Come on,
come
man.
on.
Sorry, my hands are dirty. My
I
hands
said
are
there was
dirty.
no way
Come
that
on, fam.
Skipper was in that video.
Come on, man.
How anybody
Sorry,
didn't know
no
that
one's
Skipper
gonna
was,
know the food is
Skipper was in that
Yeah,
video.
come
And
on.
I tell you, I'm a huge Skipper the Flipper fan. Skipper.
I love that song with him in trouble.
Sorry,
that
but
shit was
even if you
hard.
go back, you can
Right.
see Future in a lot of the fucking
I was about to mention
thing
that.
songs.
Exactly.
Goody Mob and all of them and all
And
like
this is like Rockstar Future. Like, he didn't even have a style back then.
Yeah.
He was still figuring things out.
Yeah.
But what I love is that the thing about Atlanta is they're not scared to share the shine. They are not scared to share the shine. So if an artist is coming up and he's that currently like the thing, right? Young Thug is not scared to put Lil Baby on.
No.
He's not scared to put Gunna on.
No.
He's not
Exactly.
scared to put Migos on.
Yeah.
Guess what? They all went to high school together, a lot of those people. I literally had a brethren, shout out to Tana Straight Cash from Atlanta. He literally was like, oh, we finna go to my friend's house. We went to high school together. I said, okay, cool, just a little studio session. Who do we walk into his brother's house? Drummer Boy Fresh. I don't know if y'all know him,
Yeah,
but
of
he's
course.
an
Come on.
elite
Drummer-
producer
yeah, Drummer Boy's the
from
GOAT.
Atlanta. So I'm just there chilling with my brethren, like me and you chill in Vegas, and you're like, let's just go check my boy down the hall, and it ends up being maybe Pressa, for instance, or we end up in Pressa's house. It should be just as simple as that.
But if you look at it, there's so many instances of that. Whether you look at Rick Ross doing triple C's and how everybody like trying
Correct.
to put everybody on.
Very true.
Like Jermaine Dupri's like
good example.
That-
there.
same
that
thing with
whole-
LA
yeah.
with NWA. This
Yeah.
is my point with Toronto.
True, and
just
that's why I had to
sucks
speak to
with
what
that.
you said a
fam.
little bit.
That's
there
my
because-
only thing about it. And again, it doesn't even have to be fucking Drake. It could be fuck Nav and them. No, sorry, guy, you're part of EXO, fam. But like, you know what I'm saying? Tory was a perfect example. He actually was like, yo,
was in the
I will
trenches.
give you guys songs.
He was in the
And
trenches, too.
But I'm still doing songs with the baby and all these
Correct.
big Tory.
Correct.
But I guess it was still a little bit different because Tory still had that hunger in him.
He did.
Yeah.
But he was still like, I don't know, fam. I just don't feel it from our city. I feel like every time somebody gets across, it's kind of like a
Goodbye. See you
fuck
later.
this place,
Yeah.
fam.
Yeah.
And I get to an extent too. I get it.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. I totally fucking get it. I get me saying what I'm saying about Drake is only because I want the fucking city to win. But at the same time, niggas weren't fucking with Drake. So I can understand why Drake says, fuck y'all.
Exactly.
Like, I
First
get
of
it
all,
too. Don't get it twisted.
One, niggas weren't fucking with him. So if you're looking at it like, nigga, I'm the first. I am, when we're looking at a hip hop industry in a city, certain mans break down the door. You know what I mean?
true. There has to
This
be.
door's really been broken down. People have done hip hop before, but this door just got broken down in like 2008.
Yeah, of
And
course.
we're trying to compare ourselves to cities that have 50 years.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So what we need is really, it can't just be him. You know what I mean? We put a lot on him to be like,
I
do
agree.
this, do this. It can't just be him. Let's look at Weeknd for a second. Be like, girl, when you sign niggas, did you do songs with them? Like, that's why a.k.a. Gwan was feeling the ways and left type shit. That's the real. They were feeling the ways, being like, bro, how am I signed you for 3 years?
Yeah,
You
but
didn't
the
wanna do
weekend was
song?"
it? But the weekend just like you said, the weekend just got lit though.
No.
Drake's been a little bit lit for time. The Weekend has now, like a couple of years ago, started entering like
his peak.
Yeah, like where
yeah.
he's on Ariana Grande, like he's on the level of yeah, I'm a guy now.
Yeah, he's superstar.
But
status.
Drake's been the guy since like let's be real, since fucking Take Care.
But
he's been the guy.
Take Care is one of my favorite
But
albums.
Weeknd gave Nav a feature. Weeknd should have given 88 Glam a feature.
Facts.
He should have
That's
did
what
that.
he's saying.
Yeah, he
Literally,
should've done
like, that's the reason why they left, because they
Right.
felt a ways about that. Like, the stories are documented on the internet. I'm not breaking in
That's
any
true.
news that
Breaking
people
news,
don't
right.
know.
No,
Like,
yeah.
they felt a ways being like, bro, how am I your artist? I've been signed to you for 3 years. You're number one in the world right now, and you can't do one song for me. So we put a lot on Drake, but we don't look at the other two guys that we have here. Not just Weeknd. There's also Justin.
Yeah.
Justin
been here for
Bieber
quite a minute.
is, let's be real, fam. Let's
But
be real.
Justin, I don't count Justin.
But why?
But why? Because somebody
Because
put
he-
him on so he can't put
No,
other
because
people
to
on
me it's
too?
like he's like a planters. I don't feel
He's
like
not a plant. He's not a
No,
plant.
hear me out. Hear me out.
Damn.
Hear me out. Justin had he had no label. He had no like. I just felt like the label controlled him.
He
Like,
he got found on the internet. He can't
did
be a
get
plant.
found on the internet.
He got
yeah,
found
but
on the
like,
internet.
okay,
I
but
get
hear
what
me out.
you're saying.
Like,
He's
he has
industry.
no
And then the industry
control.
just
Like, you know,
molded
you've
him
never
after
seen
that,
Justin
right.
control anything until recently. So
That's
Justin,
what I'm trying
I
to
don't
say,
look
though.
at.
Right now,
We
he
can-
can.
Weeknd I would more put it on, but going back to your thing, how many fucking features does Roy Woods have with Drake?
Were
One.
we just
How many does Preem have?
Okay.
Hold on.
talking about this in the
How many does
car?
Preem have?
Oh
One.
my
One,
God.
right? How many does Baka have?
Point with this interview.
He has a writing credit. Live up to my name.
Okay, let's be real. First of all, I'm gonna
about to
address
get
both.
deep.
I'm gonna
It's about
address
to get
all
deep.
3 of those.
Ooh.
Baka, you just come out of jail, type thing. You were just the homie. He not only did the song.
He
with
wasn't
you,
just a homie. He put him on a song.
Okay.
Now continue.
But what
I'm
I'm trying to
declaring
say
a holiday
is,
as soon as
imagine you
Baka
come
come
out
out
of
of the road. So that couldn't
jail,
be just a
and then not
homie.
only am I gonna put you on a song while I'm the #1 rapper in the world, I'm gonna make sure you don't write anything that's lame because I'm gonna write it for you.
That's
Type
fine.
thing. So
Yeah.
when people try to be like, he doesn't do enough, he wrote the whole damn song and featured on it just to make sure it doesn't fail.
No, yeah.
That's
yeah,
what he
you're
did
right.
for his friends. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then a lot of these niggas will come back later and be like, "Oh, you still ain't done enough." Not saying Baka did that, not at all. He like his people
they
in
never
his
do that.
gang.
No, no,
they
no,
would
they're
never
very
do that.
grateful.
But
They're
people on the
grateful of their
for
position, of
Drake.
course.
Yeah, oh yeah.
but people on the outside, I've literally heard people on the outside be
course.
like, "Why can't he do more? What about you? I've seen you in real life. Like, what are you actually doing day to day to make it happen for yourself too? Let's just be real. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys complaining in their day to day, they're not doing enough. They just like, I know this one nigga, he should make it happen for me. There's a lot of entitlement that
And
we
I'm
have
not
in the
gonna lie,
city.
Toronto's extremely entitled. There's no, the
that's for-
hunger,
that's for sure.
the grit is not this. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with y'all, man. I'll be honest with you. When I was in Atlanta, I've never seen people not sleep in my life. They were just popping with Xannies and whatever and stayed in the studio for days. These guys didn't bathe. These guys didn't bathe. And let me tell you
believe you.
something. Magic happened. These mans were, I'll never forget it. The song's called In the Kitchen with Tana Straight Cash. This man had 6 of his brethren on the track. There was 7 other niggas in the room. They were all friends. Every single nigga helped every single nigga with their verse. I witnessed this. Nobody felt any way to take input like when a man said, and a brick and a and he was like, nah, bro, you should have said it like this. You know what, you right, G. And I'm not kidding you. I've never seen so much exchange with creativity in my life. These people were so hungry. And a hit was made right in front of my face. You understand what I'm saying to you? So I wish there was more cohesion like that in the city. We're not as hungry. Like everyone's
that's
just kind of
facts, too.
sticking to their silos. I mean people with grit. Like I have to commend my partner for what he was saying, my business partner, because it's like, you know, people are supposed to be getting together for a common goal, but we lose sight of that if it's just about the stardom that we're after. Like they're just,
Yes.
I don't know how to put this even more better than that. Like there's a greater goal. Like what are we, like the movement, we can't, like he's saying, Drake, I tell you guys, can I be real? My friends in Chicago always say, yeah, man, we love Drake though, but y'all got somebody else. Who y'all got? Phone them Grave, that can't be just Drake.
That's when my people in Baton Rouge say the same shit.
Phone them. It can't be just Drake. And I tell you, I hear this from Regis all across the states where they're like waiting to see who's next. Not to say they don't know The Weeknd or Tory.
Not even Presser. They know people,
these people.
but
Yeah.
again, going like, I think Drake kind of fucked it up for us, to tell you the honest truth, because he's the first from the city, but he's so fucking big that fam, we'll never see anybody like that again. It's not like whatever, bro. When will you see that? You're acting like Drake is like normal.
Okay, you're acting like there weren't 2 other niggas that ended up becoming the top pop niggas from the same GTA we're talking about. We didn't just spit out Drake. Justin Bieber's from the GTA.
But Justin
Weeknd
Bieber
is
didn't-
from the
Justin
GTA.
Bieber run wasn't
Numbers.
15 years.
What I'm
No, but he's
He
done
wasn't
astro-
15 years
That's
relevant like Drake, and Drake's
We're-
and his
we're-
shit
they've
just keeps
actually-
going up.
Let's be
Like,
real. Let's be real. Actually, if you really do the math, they've actually been on for the exact same amount of time. Look at the Baby video, and you're gonna see Drake from Comeback Season in that video.
But Justin Bieber's stock has went down, broski.
Justin Bieber took a step back because of health issues, but he's still hearing him on the radio. All I'm trying to say,
You're still hearing
is
on the radio, but when's the last time you dropped an album?
he's gotten health issues. But his last album went #1 in the world. Anytime he drops, it's gonna be
Anytime
#1.
Justin drops,
He's
though.
literally just sick
Anytime,
right
'cause
now.
Justin did
What is that? Peaches? The Peaches joint?
number one. He also put on a Canadian in that one song, Daniel Caesar. But what I'm trying
And
to
let's
say,
I
not
thought you said
lie.
he didn't put on a CD.
And let's not lie, the game
the
is
one person.
The game is missing Tory Lanez. Everybody crying for Tory.
Yeah, we need
Everybody
Tory back.
wants Tory right back out.
Need him back.
We
Because
all miss
he was
that
an
Tory Lanez.
uber talented guy.
Period.
I think that's just what it was.
And he
Super
was in
talented.
a lane of his own.
And again, going back to your point, Bieber's R&B. Drake is rap and R&B. I don't think we'll ever see somebody in the rap industry take over for 15 years and be the top artist. That's unheard of, bro.
Well, we don't need somebody to do that again. We need somebody to get to a Gunna level from here. We need somebody to get to something attainable in a couple of those niggas. And that's something we don't necessarily need Drake to do. We need to change our mentality a bit here and be like, let's go down to America, get our own cosigns. Because the minute I was in New York for like a couple hours, I was meeting every famous person in the world. I was looking at it like, oh shit, these people are not difficult to get to.
No.
We, for whatever reason, just don't think to hop on that train for an hour to
right.
get down to New York and do all that.
It's just a
I don't-
different
Facts.
mentality.
I don't even think that's it.
That's not easy, you know.
No. Because we've been because we've been
like it, though.
no. We've been talking about it
We never
forever.
have real
About obviously, like
discussions,
you have to leave, right? Like there's not enough.
You have to
people
leave a
here.
little
You have to
earlier.
leave.
Niggas think, oh, let me wait till I'm on to leave. Nah,
No,
nigga,
no,
just
just
go
go.
over
No,
there.
you just
And
need
I'm
to go.
telling you,
Give
be
a passport,
talented.
go.
Be around all these niggas in America.
Right.
They'll co-sign you. Why you looking for Drake to do it? Like, you know what I mean? We all know where he lives. You're not getting over that fence. You know what I mean? But realistically, you could walk in LA and then meet whoever you're trying to meet and literally rap for them. Do what J. Cole did at Jay-Z or with Jay-Z. Wait in front of the building. Rap for
My
them.
boy
How much do you want it?
Jermaine Dupri just did it. But that's it. I think it goes back to
Not
we
seeing
need
enough
to start
celebrities.
pushing. No, not even just that. We need to start pushing the artists. I think we're getting with the blogs and everything. It becomes we're pushing street guys that are rapping, and we're not actually pushing the artists. And I
artists.
think that's
that's
our
you just
problem
hit it.
because
That's
it's
what he
like
meant by
all the
changing
guys
the
that we're
mentality.
naming. Because all the guys that we're naming. Well, I shouldn't say that. We're naming, but like the street guys, like the bullies,
Okay.
the
All right, people.
yeah, R.I.P. bully, Houdinis. What's my
Yes.
boy that's in jail
R.I.P.
that keeps in and out of jail? Light skin you, Ergod.
Ergod, yeah.
Bizlo,
Yeah,
Bulls.
agree, that guy.
Like these are all street acts, and yes, that's cool. But fuck, we know what's gonna happen in the street acts regardless.
Correct.
It's
We see
dead
it
or
right
jail
now.
regardless,
We see
right?
it now, what
So we
happens
need to start balancing it out and focusing on the actual artists that are really trying, because I think that's the problem. The artists that are really trying. They're not the ones, and I don't care about the cosigns, but they're not the ones really getting the cosigns. They're not getting the people, the real gatekeepers telling them, yo, maybe you should do this. Maybe you need to do that. Like, we've
Big up
talked to a
yourself,
lot of
Butsy.
people that we have to tell them, yo, why don't you just do this? Something has, like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
something has to
Yo,
click,
why don't
yeah.
you go get grants? I can get a grant?
Yeah,
It's
they
like
don't
they
know.
don't
Big
they
up
don't
yourselves.
know.
Big up
And
yourselves.
that's where it's like that's the issue. It's like the real musicians, they don't have, going back to his thing, they don't have the information
And education. That's right.
and the education
That's
for it.
why we created Toronto Divas. I don't mean to plug it again, but that's
Nah, plug
the
it.
Plug
biggest-
it, man.
Plug it.
All
That's the
day.
biggest that's been
Plug
join
it.
us
Yeah,
on
yeah,
June
fuck.
29th at the TD Music Hall. You know what I mean? I'll be emceeing and getting this thing started. But that's literally the core behind Toronto Divas. Is like what I was telling you before, to generate superstars on like an epidemic level. Because again, who are we to just continue making money off the backs of these independent artists? How are we guiding careers and creating genuinely great musicians on the business side of things? They need guidance. They just don't know. That's like you just said with a lot of Torontonians, they just don't know how to navigate things.
It's facts.
This is what differentiates us from the rest of the competition doing shows. Shout out to all of them, but you gonna get some real classy women and business women coming out of our camp for sure.
We also gotta understand that men have to kind of control this thing for a very long time, and we're kind of forgetting women are 50% of the human population.
Talk your thing.
So if
Big
things
gal
ain't
tracks.
been working here for the men, let's give it to the gal and see what they do with it for these next couple years.
Or just make fucking
Girl
girl
songs.
songs, guys.
Yeah, make more songs
I beg
created
them.
for.
Holy
I
shit.
beg them.
Yeah.
I beg them all the time when I interview them. Start making the gal them song. We love the panty wetter song.
And listen, it doesn't have to
love
necessarily be girl records, but just
No.
make general purpose records, like songs that
good
we
point.
all could relate to. Like, you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? You know, the like country's biggest draw is relationships and breakups. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mary J. Blige was built
And
off
liquor.
of relationships
Exactly.
and liquor and
liquor.
party and stuff. But that's what I'm saying. We could do that too in the hip hop.
And
But
men
just
and women can gravitate towards
talk about your struggles. I want to know, like, why do I know Prodigy more than anything and through music? I never met this nigga in my life.
I
Rest in
met
peace,
him in
Prodigy.
Miami.
Look at it. You
R.I.P.
see what I'm saying, bro? Like,
Met him in
why do we
Miami,
know
R.I.P.
these
him.
people just through music? Because they give us something to listen to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about press about the news settings. Let me listen to your album and really figure out your life. I know your pops is in the bin and stuff for a long time, but tell me that in music form. You know what I'm saying? Let me get to know you and appreciate you as a fan. And there's not enough artists out here that we can say, like, we know Drake, for instance. We know Drake's grandma, mom, pops. We know his life story. He tells it through his music. We need more
Daughter.
artists like that. Tory Lanez too. His first albums are fucking amazing. Best album I ever heard. Know him through his music. We know about his pops. All this. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day,
We don't know these people. Go
Very
ahead.
true.
these people exist. Like, I think we try to pretend like they ain't sick musicians here. To me, Canada has the best musicians. There's
We
a
do.
reason
In the
why the
world.
3 biggest pop stars in the world are from the GTA of all places.
on.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yes.
not like
Come
these people
on.
don't exist. Is the story being told? And I'll be honest, the media here, I grew up around a lot of these niggas who run these media pages, so they're gonna be partial to shouting out their homies. You know what I mean?
earlier.
And I'll be honest, a lot of the more miskeen youths just don't start media pages.
Very true.
So they're not gonna tell the stories of maybe this guy ain't from the streets, but he made great music. You know what I mean? What people don't take in, Dr. Dre, yeah, he from Compton, but that guy was not
wasn't
a
a
street
street nigga
guy.
like that.
No.
He was not a street guy.
No.
Like, it ends up being a lot of the niggas who aren't street guys who are able to tell the stories of the niggas that they are around that ended up making it in the 80s and 90s. There's a lot of real niggas there too. But they'll tell you now that they're 50 and 60, I was telling my niggas stories.
Yeah.
We need to start telling the stories of the people that are here that maybe they're not on the ground level, but maybe they're reporters.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing
Honestly,
wrong
There
with that
really
at all.
isn't, because we need those
Yeah.
people. Not everybody has to be the rapper.
No.
We need other elements to be told. And just to piggyback off of what you were saying, again, another reason why we started Toronto Divas is because these women's stories need to be told. We've given enough opportunity to the current 6 pages and all the bloggers to take their time and sift through the competition and do that, but we're clearly not going to be building culture through those pages. Change needs to happen. There are people that are going unnoticed, just like you guys said, because they don't have the right links, they don't have the right connections, but those could be very well the things we need to propel Canada in a whole different direction. So the element of telling stories, for me, is essential for the Black experience. We have all these other races, no offense to the Punjabis and the other people who have suddenly joined us on this hip-hop journey, but that's not their story. They're mimicking our story. So the right stories are not being told, and that needs to change. That's the only way that things end up going on a worldwide scale, where it's like, okay, we're growing with the artist now. It's not just the one song. Like, I'm interested in knowing, like you said, how do we find out about so-and-so's dad and somebody's in jail, and because I'm growing with your story, I'm growing through your albums, I see your growth. I caught you at that local show the other day, and you were very kind to me. You gave the follow, you gave the shout out, you reposted my shit on your story. How are we encouraging the story of the artist? How is this being uplifted? Very good point.
Yeah, let me stop, because she was gonna make me yellow tape somebody when she was just like with the Indian them, and I was about to yellow tape. So I'll yellow tape when she's not here. But yeah, you guys are the best podcast in the city. Oh, you guys are getting yellow tape when she's gone.
Talk your thing.
No. I'll wait till you leave, man.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you guys. Like, and we're gonna be here forever if we
I
have you guys,
know,
because
this
there's
was
so
so
much gems. Thank you both for coming through.
Yeah, man.
Both of you guys, if you want, give the people them your information, how they can get a hold of you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Again, it's your girl PTM, a.k.a. Paula Too Much, the voice by People's Choice. You already know what time it is, man. Make sure y'all hit me up on that Instagram at Paula Too Much. As you know, I have my podcast as well called the Urban Spotlight Podcast, and that's available on YouTube, Spotify, all your major, media platforms. Thank you guys here at Man Dem Show for having me on the podcast.
That's what's up. You giving out your social? Yeah, come on. You a part of the show.
I go by the name of Trey Gold, a.k.a. Dark-Skin Bruce Wayne. I better see everybody at Toronto Divas. I better see everybody at the Beat Kids Beat Battle, which I'm going to be hosting the day before. Canada's largest beat battle. We have the best producers in Canada in that building. Eli Brown, who does...
Sorry.
Yeah, we gonna
Yeah.
link up. You guys got media passes. Don't worry. Y'all in everything we doing. Don't worry.
Yeah, we
y'all
got
there.
Eli Brown in there. He produced for Drake. He produced for Party Next Door. He produced for Chris Brown. We got Demi Anditch judging in that bitch. He produces for Roy. Produces for Lil Yachty. Pull up, see the next up and coming producers who gonna really redesign the Canadian sound. Y'all were saying we ain't got a sound over here. That's really for these young producers to figure out. If you want to see them, come to that beat battle 28th. TD Music Hall, Beat Kids Beat Battle. And if you want to see the future Canadian music, follow it to Toronto Divas next day, 29th. Paula's going to be the MC. We got Nanu headlining. We got Nessia on that bitch. We got a couple a couple surprise guests. You already know. Trey Gold, dark skin Bruce Wayne, tap in.
Fuck, man.
Great episode.
Great.
Really great episode.
Great.
And what did I tell you? Hold on, what's your background?
Nigerian.
What did I tell you last week? We need more Africans.
Yeah, we need.
What did I tell you? We need more Africans.
That was what
Y'all was editing the episode. I'm like, we really do need to talk to more Africans, bro. We really do, fam.
That's a fact, though.
It was
That's a
love
fact.
over here,
It
man.
really was. I had such a good time. Thank you guys
Yeah,
for
yeah.
having us.
Yeah, we'll
This
be
would have
seeing-
this would have been longer if I didn't have to just step
I know
up.
we have stuff to
Man,
do,
it's
but
all
yeah,
good. I
man.
heard about y'all 4-hour podcast with Hoodlum and like
Oh yeah, we do
That
those.
was
Hey,
hell. That was
I
hell.
heard.
That was hell.
I do those. These guys don't like it, man. When these guys, but
because you really get into it.
yeah,
I love it.
I love chat, man. I love chat, especially when you have a good conversation. You love chat. But yeah, man, it's the Man Dem Show. Make sure you guys go follow everybody. Make sure you guys go tap into Toronto Divas, all right? We need that big. We're gonna speak to you too. You know what I'm saying? You might need your own like a personal interview. But yeah, man, it's the Man Dem Show. We're off of this.
Peace.
Well done, guys.
Thank you, man.
Oh my God, this was
Great conversation.
amazing.
This is what you need,
Oh
man.
my
You need
God, I'm so
conversations
proud
like
of
this,
you,
man.
baby.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I finally got to meet you.
I didn't even know you knew me like that.
I did. I've been following you forever.
Say word.
Yeah, your whole movement. Well, me in Vegas is very open.